What's up, everybody? It's that day, that night for the Relationship Podcast, Conversations in Crete, and my co hosts. I'll have them announce their own names this time.
You got Chelsea, co-host here. Chelsea's life coaching, uh, specializing in communication.
Okay. And
Okay. Good evening, everyone. We have Lillian from Sunshine Smoothies to go.
awesome. Okay. So we are here in another week. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing good. I'm blessed. I woke
Good.
up. I could breathe. What about you, Miss Lillian?
Just like you, Chelsea, I woke up, I'm healthy, I'm breathing, and I actually had a great week. So,
Awesome.
Good.
That's good to hear all this good news because it's a lot of
yes.
things happening in this world today that can make it can throw you off, make you sad or whatever. But um, you guys seem to be holding it down just well. And we have my brother-in-law. He always supporting us every week.
Yeah.
Tony, what's up, brother-in-law? Tony. We also have another supporter here, saying good evening,
Good
Tasmanian
evening.
Devil. All right. Um, okay. So as we get started, this is a whole new week, and it's always something new every week. And you know me, I don't care whether if I'm liked or not. I'm always the villain because sometimes some people don't like what I say, but it's okay. It's okay. It's freedom of speech. You don't have to worry about me being disrespectful or cursing anybody out or whatever, but it's freedom of speech. So I'm going to say what I got to say. And I know you guys are going to say what y'all have to say, right? And that's
Yep.
what makes this show interesting. So this week, we are jumping in talking about divorce. And this is just one part of divorce. And that being said, if you see in the title right there, divorce, why you want 50-50 split. And the reason we're having that because that's a big talk all the time, every day, uh, amongst people because the divorce rate has risen like pretty bad, and that's bad because me, I grew up in a family, and I love the family life, and to see it crumble like this, you know that a higher power is there to make it do what it do right now, like Satan the devil. He's working to break up families. And this
Mhm.
world, the way the systems are set up, are not set up for you really to be alone. It's for families, it's for couples. Um, but unfortunately, there's a lot of people, that are single or whatever and dealing with it, and they feel just fine about a lot of things when it comes to that. But um, and remember, guys, the phone lines are open and the number is down the bottom, which is 470-493-9928. You're free to call in to speak with any one of us or comment on anything. Or if you want to pop up on the screen, we can send you a link so you can come live
Mhm.
with us. So I grabbed the wrong phone. So with that being said as well, I put together a little something. And
Something.
when you get a little something. So So when getting married, the first thing most couples are thinking about is love and happiness. Could you guys agree with that?
I
Yeah.
agree.
Okay. Um,
Companionship.
yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Mhm.
And I was getting ready to ask singularly, um, Chelsea. Let's say, like, starting off with you. You're married.
Okay. Mhm.
When you got married, or when you was about to get married, what were
Mhm.
you looking forward to in your marriage?
What was I looking forward to in my marriage? I guess the sense of security.
Okay.
Um, to say. the companionship was so established. So I guess it really was that sense of like, heck yeah, this is it. This is for real. Like, and it was for God. Like it was mainly really spiritual for me, because that is something that I believe. I waited, I never did, like got married, all of that. I knew it had to feel right and be right. And at that time and at that moment, I felt like it was before me, him, God, and the closest people to me. And it was special. And yeah, so love, right? Happiness.
Correct. Correct. Um, Shouts out to Area 51 said, hey, hey.
Hey, hey.
And remember, and that's beautiful. That's beautiful right there, Chelsea, what what you had just said. Because a lot of people think that way. Security is a big deal when it comes into marriage, right? Also, companionship, the love, number one. Um, uh, Miss Lillian, I know that you haven't gotten married yet, but what for you to go? What are you looking forward to as far as getting married?
A lot of what Chelsea just said. First of all, a strong friendship. I
Hmm.
think you
Mhm.
guys have to build a strong friendship and foundation before you could even think about getting married. I think that's really important. People always say getting to know somebody, but sometimes it's like, do you ever really know that person? But that's where the friendship comes in and ties with it all. I think if you're really good friends with somebody and you feel comfortable enough with that person and you guys can share anything with that person, then that's probably that person for you. Somebody that's not going to judge you. And I look for something that's lifetime. I don't want to get married because everybody else is getting married. If I get married, I want it to be lifetime. I want it to be
Exactly.
something lifetime. I want us to be able to get through anything. And that's where that friendship comes in and plays a big part. Because if you're not friends and guys don't trust each other, don't have any type of understanding, and don't understand each other, it's never going to last. And I think that strong friendship and foundation that you build is what's going to keep that marriage
Another good solid one. I agree with that as well. I agree with you and Chelsea. Do you want to read that comment from Area 51, Chelsea?
Yeah, being friends and getting to know your mate is absolutely a key factor. Absolutely. You got to get to know them the best you can. But I think another point of that is, again, the friendship, so that you can learn to grow with that person, because you're not going to. I have a saying, or I've heard it. If you're the same person at the end of the year that you were in the beginning of the year, that's a problem. Like for me, I want to be changing, I want to be growing, I want to be evolving. And I need to have a partner that's going to be able to do that beside me, and not be in the conflict.
Hmm. Okay. We have another one of our supporters. Shouts out to Simply 10 Art. Just coming in, said, boo, YouTube failed me again. How much did I miss?
together.
All right. And brother in law here says, here's a question. Do you get offended if your significant other doesn't see you as their best friend? Uh, I'm gonna we're gonna get that one to Miss Lillian first.
So I'm not married, but speaking from somebody that has been in long-term relationships, I want my mate to be my best friend. I want them to be able to feel comfortable to talk to me about anything without judging each other. I mean, it may sound silly, but let me decide how I'm going to forgive you or not forgive you, or how I'm going to deal with this situation. So that friendship, I'm sorry, yes, I do want to be my mate's best friend. I do. I don't mind them having friends, but I mean, I want to feel that portion of the relationship too. I really do. I think it's
Uh,
I agree.
yeah, I agree with that as well. Um, how about you, Chelsea, on that one?
important.
I agree. Like I thank God every day, honestly, about it, because I do feel like we are we are the best of friends. I mean, I say it to him all the time, like, we can confide in each other. There's no, it's exciting. We get to, it it's a good time. There's all these great things, and that's what I want it to feel like. And we don't want to feel like like you said, the world is. I mean, at one point, the world's hard and can be hard already. I don't want a relationship that's not going to feel like my best friend that I ever had in the entire world. You know?
Right. I totally agree with the both of you guys. And yes, being your mate's best friend is a big deal. You don't want, I mean, it's bad enough, and I don't want to call it bad. Marriage is a beautiful thing. But the thing about it is marriage, you have to run it like a business because it is a business. But in a lot of times when you run in businesses, you can't be the person's friend. Or you can be their friend, but you have to separate business and friendship. But that person, you're going to want them to be your friend, um, your lover, everything.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want them to be everything. So definitely, I would feel. I wouldn't feel offended, but hopefully things change that they don't look at it like that. I want them to look at it as I do. Like, yes, I'm your best friend. I'm your husband. I'm this. I'm that. So
Yeah.
also, Area 51 say, I want to be their best friend, but I'm going to have other friends. Okay. I mean, yeah, you're going to have other
Yeah,
friends, but that
absolutely.
the other friends are not going to match up to your husband.
Correct.
So I
Yeah,
agree
that's
with
kind of
that.
how I feel.
Um, okay. And then also, Area 51, you want to read that one, Chelsea?
Yeah, absolutely right. You should be your first best friend. Absolutely right. You should, and that's a good point. That's a really good point to point out. You've got to learn how to be your best friend and love yourself and do all of that. We harp on it, but
Hmm.
you're absolutely right. If you don't know how to do that for you and have a good time for you and do all of those things, it's going to be hard to tell your partner what you need and what you want, because if you don't know, how are you going to give him a good clear description on how to meet that, right? You want him to be clear with you and say, you know this is what I need. you know uh what about you, Miss Lillian? What do you think?
Compromising is very, very important too. And I'm not
Yeah.
saying change because when I say change, I mean, let's meet each other halfway, is what I'm trying to say. See, I think a lot of people make the mistake of what we were talking about last week. You meet somebody, you like that person, you think that person's the one for you. So, you listen to all the bad things that went wrong in the relationship before you, and you try to not so much compare yourself, but because you're liking this person so much and you may just want to be with them, you start settling and agreeing to things or disagreeing to things that aren't even you or part of your character because you really feel like you want to be with this person. People just really need to get to know each other really good before they take that step. And they need to be honest. I think honesty is the most important thing. Let me be the judge. Let me make that decision if I decide to deal with whatever it is that I need to deal with. People keep so many secrets, and that's why I say sometimes, do you ever really know your mate? Because they're hiding behind somebody that they're not, and then once you commit to that person and get into a relationship or even marry that person, you're like, gosh, I didn't even know this side of you. I think honesty is just so important in any kind of relationship or marriage.
Right. Now,
Yeah.
shout out to Miss Wendy just coming up. That's another weekly supporter. And Miss Wendy has a business as well, and we all should support her just as well as we should support Miss Lillian and you, Chelsea. And there's a bunch of business owners, that listen to our podcast, and we're going to have them on so they can share their business and also we can get their views on relationships. So,
Yeah.
Miss Wendy said, representative versus them. Um, not sure exactly what she meant by that, but I'm sure she's going to make clear of it. She's very well spoken in her words. Um,
Mhm.
Here's another thing. let's say, once you get married, you're also looking at, a lot of people are thinking of walks in the park, vacations in life, right? So we kind of covered that, when we were talking about the things that w- that you want to happen in your marriage. Also, we have to remember whether if you agree with, well, I'm gonna say this, if you have to remember whether if you agree with this or not. But marriage is to be handled like a business, as I already said. Some people may not agree with that, some people will. Do you guys agree with that?
That's a good. I do have something to say with that because if like off rip, people are gonna get offended by that, right?
Mhm.
People are gonna be like, no, how, right? But I think what for me is that life and people in general is transactional, right? Your
Mhm.
friends bring you something to the table and you bring something to the table for them, and that creates and makes the energy feel good and makes you feel good, right?
Mhm.
So when you meet your mate, there are elements of it that are transactional. So when you say a business, I can, instantly I can see where people can get triggered or offended by that. But there really shouldn't be too much offense because in a good business partners, there's good communication, there's good leadership skills, and where, there's areas for each person to shine at what they're good at. So that's kind of my opinion on it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's totally legit. Totally legit. How about you, Miss Lillian?
See, and I mean,
Mm.
I agree somewhat. I'm comparing it to a relationship because I've never been married. But I mean, there has to be some business aspect to a marriage as well. Um,
Well, even in a relationship, I mean,
I mean, go ahead.
no, I was just saying it could be, agreeing with you. It could be in reference to a relationship as well, treating it in those manners.
Correct.
But it just depends on, I think, people too.
Right. I'm gonna pop a comment up there, and it's from Miss Wendy, and you can read that, Chelsea.
It's sad when you feel you're not good enough, so you pretend to be someone you're not. Absolutely. That's why I think it starts with you. And that's where I think we talk about we need to get to know someone. We need to get to know someone. Well, we need to flip that back and take a mirror and put it in our face. And we need to look at ourselves and start healing some of these areas that we might be
Mhm.
putting onto said partner or lover that we're even having a hard time seeing. So that's why I think, coaching, therapy, talking to somebody and kind of being able to really be open and vulnerable, I think in love is kind of healing the best part for me. I think the most important.
Okay. Um, Also, is that Area 51? Yeah, Area 51 says honesty is a biggie, right along with trust. And it is.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
kind of run hand in hand, almost mean the same, but I mean, both does they do have a difference. They do have a difference, and that's a very big deal in a relationship. So we actually have a one that was sent in from one of our supporters here, and I think this is very interesting. It says, it's kind of small, but I'm gonna try my best to read as best as I can. Say most people get married believing a myth that marriage is a beautiful box full of all the things they have longed for: companionship, intimacy, friendship. The truth is that marriage at the start is an empty box. You must put something in before you can take anything out. There is no love in marriage. Love is in people, and the people put into marriage. There is no romance in marriage. People have to infuse it. They have to infuse it in their marriage. A couple must learn the art and form the habit of giving, love, serving, praising, keeping the box full. If you take out more than you put in, the box will be empty, and that's deep. So
Man, that touched me.
yeah.
That
Yeah,
was
So
good.
that's wild. Yes.
and you know what happens? That leads me to, and that was a good, thing to send in because it's leading us to what this show is really about tonight, which is, let's say, divorce. And then when divorce happens, now you wanting a 50-50 split. But how much did you put into the box? How much did you put in the box? Whether it be the man, how much did you put into the box? The woman, how much did you put into the box? But we're going to get into the nitty gritty of that here in a second. But we're going to still bring out some other things here, and we're going to read a few other comments. Um, right here we have um, shouts out to Jeanette Brecher. Said, "Hey folks, hello, Miss Jeanette. We thank you for
Hello.
coming in. We thank you for coming in. All right. Um, it was another thing I wanted to bring out here. Hold on one second. Wrong phone. All right. The other thing was that but when we get married, how is the model of marriage supposed to look? How is it supposed to look? Like this generation that's out here today really has no clue. They don't have a clue. Television is telling them what a marriage is about. Um, then a husband usually goes to work to provide for his family, and the wife's supposed to be the one who takes care of the home. So taking care of the home has a lot of different elements to it. Um, and you can't discredit the husband just going to work. It's a lot behind work. You look like you want to say something, Chelsea. Go ahead.
I'm processing. I'm just processing everything that you're saying.
Oh, okay. All right. Shouts out to Monica Maria Cano, and shouts out to Rue, uh, Janet
Mhm.
Brashear. Okay. And they also said hi, Chelsea.
Hello,
uh,
hello.
yep. So okay. So now let's get to the nitty gritty. And I don't care if I get fussed out, whatever. But I'm just telling y'all, like, I have a big
Hold on.
problem. You go ahead.
Before you get in and move on to that, I do want to touch a little bit on the model, right?
Okay.
You can't, and I think this is so hard, I think, for people in general, is like you cannot stereotype one model of a marriage and say this is going to fit for everybody. I think there are skills and traits and things you can develop to help have successful relationships and marriages. But you can't say that the good old, you know, right, barefoot in the kitchen,
Hmm.
is the right, way versus not. It's so hard to say this is and this isn't, um, when it comes down to that, because you wouldn't look at my marriage and say that it's traditional, but there's a
Hmm.
lot of traditional values that I have carried, and we have, the respect, the leadership, that those things. So that's why I think it's hard for what the model is for our generation or younger generations is different, but I think the values are the part to focus on. That's just what I want to say.
Okay. Awesome. Sauce. Awesome sauce.
Awesome
All right.
sauce.
So Chelsea, read that's Miss Wendy's comment right there.
All right, Miss Wendy, we got women today are too busy trying to be boss. They don't know that there is joy in taking care of your home. Absolutely. I mean, yes, there is, but I think people in general have a hard time turning off boss mode in general and having a good work-life balance. But go
I
ahead.
agree.
Miss
I agree.
Lillian, you nodded. You looks
Well,
like
I
you
mean,
agreed with.
because it's all about somebody wanting to be just in control. Like,
Yeah.
why do you want to be in control? I just believe in if a man is providing and doing what he's supposed to do as a husband or mate, then women need to let their men do that and stop trying to
Yeah.
be so controlling.
Yeah, I think that's a
That's
very good point. It's about the actual controlling trait, and that's for male and female. I agree. That was good.
Well, here's the thing that a lot of women have to understand too, that when a man is assertive, you can't
assertive.
label that as being controlling. If a man knows what he
No,
wants,
no,
if a man knows how to run his household, you can't start saying, "Oh, you controlling." I mean, don't do that.
correct. No, absolutely not. But if you're telling me I can't go out and can't go see my friends and can't do this and can't do that, and what I'm doing this and that all the time, 24/7, yeah, there's a level. But if sir, no, I
Right.
agree with knowing what you want.
Right, right, right.
That's where the
So,
respect level comes in too, though.
mhm.
I'm
Exactly.
not going to question my mate every 5 minutes. Who's calling you? Where are you going? Where are you at? It's all about building
Exactly.
that trust amongst each other.
You're
Everybody's
right.
grown at the end of the day. I
Mhm.
don't want to be in a relationship or a marriage where I have to question my husband or mate's whereabouts every 5 minutes,
No.
or I'm wondering who he's texting, or like, because I know
Mm-mm.
people have friends, people have businesses, things like that, but it's just all about respect at the end of the day.
Okay. And Miss Wendy has people are beautifully layered humans. So there is never a one way. You have to do what fits your relationship. And also, Simply 10 Art says the women these days think the men are controlling in that aspect. In the aspect of what? If you can put it in the comments, or don't forget you can call in at 470-493-9928. And the number scrolling down the bottom. And then also, brother-in-law Tony says, my spouse is boss and has joy in taking care of home. See, you can look at things like that in a fun way. You know what I mean? As long as the family model is being taken care of, that's fine. And that's exactly what he's saying. You see what I'm
What's
saying?
your family motto,
My
Mister
family,
Mister Creed?
well, my family model is that me being the head, and taking, going out to work. It's just like old fashioned, going out to work, bringing home the bacon,
Yeah.
and that meaning, making sure my bills are paid, making sure that my mate is not in, I mean, I can't take care of everything, but that she's in no need of
No.
anything, and that there's food in the house, the bills are paid. If we have kids, that the
Yeah.
kids have what they need, and that they know that I'm the head of the house. They know that when I'm gone, to respect their mom, and and to
Mhm.
help her out and everything.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. Like I'm simple. I'm simple,
Yeah.
and I gotta make sure I have me a good meal at least 3 to 4 times a week.
And I think that's
Home cooked.
only fair.
Yeah. And that
But
and
if
that
you have that conversation up front with people, then that's where it doesn't get sticky down the road when, um I was I don't like to clean. I'm open with it. I hate to clean. I don't like it. I know. Look at that face. I can see
And
see
it.
I love to clean. I'm just the
Well,
cleanest neat freak. I'm sorry. But if you're not
my
working, hear
husband
me
is.
out. If my husband is working and bringing
Yeah,
home the money, paying the
exactly.
bills,
Correct.
and taking care of home,
Correct.
and I have the
Yes.
leisure of sitting home all day or just getting the kids ready,
Yeah.
you better damn well have a damn home cooked meal for me when I get home. I mean, that's just, and the house should be clean. That's just what I was
Yeah.
taught. If you're home
Yeah.
and you're a housewife, then the house needs to be clean, and dinner should be cooked every night. I'm sorry, I'm old fashioned when it comes to that, and I really feel that way about those type of things.
Well, that's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing, Miss Lillian, because
Yeah.
that's how it's supposed to be. And when you do get married, definitely I hope it's a good man and he can respect and appreciate what you have to offer him
Absolutely.
and bring to him. Um, and Chelsea, the cleaning part, I get it. A lot of people don't like to clean or whatever, but it
It's
might
My
come to you later
okay,
husband,
on.
but I do, I
It,
I
do.
come to me later on. No, and
yeah,
I've gotten this far in life. It ain't coming to me later on, buddy.
uh
Um,
well,
but we
Chelsea,
have an arrangement, right?
hashtag per
Transactions.
Hashtag pray. It's gonna come. It's gonna come. Hashtag
Oh,
pray. So
Right.
I'll let you change the
Miss
subject.
Wendy said, my question is, what y'all definition of boss? Okay. And y'all can answer that. And we will bring y'all comments out on that. Also, we have Miss Wendy said that is fair communication is everything. And then hold on one second, I'll post that. And then simply 10 art says that let me get it up there. It says, I didn't think anyone. Oh, man, I just hit something extra. Okay, I didn't think anyone liked cleaning. It's just what should be done.
Well, yes, and I don't live in filth, but
Yeah. Yes, and Area 51 said, "Tell them, Miss
Tell
tell
Lillian."
them,
them,
Ma
my Lillian.
Lillian.
Yeah.
All right.
Tell them, Ma Lillian.
I mean, I just happen to be
Okay.
one of those people that like to clean. That doesn't make me better than you,
Ex-
or
yes, I
you're honest though. You laid it out there.
yeah.
You don't like to clean, but that's just what I was taught. That's just
No,
what I was taught. And
you are
Yeah.
absolutely right. And if I stayed home every day and my house wasn't clean, absolutely, my husband would be saying something to me like, "Hello," you know.
and that
But
goes back to you're a busy woman. You have a job and you do other things, but this goes back
yeah,
to someone that's sitting at home and you're just a housewife
exactly.
and you get the kids off to school and you have the
True.
leisure of sitting home all day. There should be no reason why the food's not cooked when the husband comes home or the kids got a home cooked meal every day or the house is clean. Because you're sitting home, you're not doing nothing anyway. So that's what I'm saying. So
No,
I'm a
I
busy
agree with you.
do all that anyway. So I mean, but everybody's different. So
So
And I'm blessed.
imagine a young lady, I'd say 25 to 28. That would be so Martian. That'll be out of this world to her. That what you cook every day, they don't even cook for themselves. They don't know nothing about that. Everything is microwave, or it's just ridiculous. Um, uh, um, Chelsea, can you read that comment?
Was
From
married for 36 years. He wasn't the easiest person to live with, but we respected each other. Look, ladies, when you get married, the husband doesn't become your father.
I agree with that. Now, how in the comments, uh, Miss Janet, aka Rue. I'm gonna just say Miss Rue. In the comments, how if you can clarify, he doesn't become your father. Clarify that for us, because that's something to talk on right there. While you're doing that, we're going to go to another comment, but we want you to clarify he doesn't become your father. Simply Tenard said, gotta put some good. Hold on, let me put that up there. Gotta put some good songs on and grab the broom and mop. Yeah.
Well, I ain't above it. That's when Michael Jackson comes out.
So yeah, that was a good one. So um so now with that being said, and I hope I'm not moving too far, because I want to hear what Miss Ruth says about the husband becoming not becoming your father. Okay, so
Mhm.
now also right here, we have you know, but when you get married, how is the model of marriage supposed to look? Hold on, I'm way off.
We talked about that.
Yeah. Um, anyway, I'm gonna just do it off the fly right here. So basically, the more modern day marriages, you have the husband working and now the wife working, right? So
Mhm.
i- I'm still old fashioned. If I have to work my butt off for my mate not to have to work, then I'm going to do it. I'm going to make ways. It's possible. You don't lay down and just die. It's too
You're
many
right. And it,
opportunities out here. So so because I don't want that type of family, like the modern day family, like right now, where I'm working, she working. Who's watching the kids? Who's raising the kids? You see what I'm saying? And I didn't grow up like that, and I see the importance of having the mother home when we get home from school and stuff like that. And I think my little sister last week had seconded this, because trust me, I've seen where the father worked, or the father just wasn't in their life. The mother was there, but she was at work or both of them was at work, and now they're coming home being able to bring girls in their house, or the girls bringing guys in their house, and now they end up pregnant early, or they end up getting high, and then now they're in jail or dead. You know, and then or you know, mothers from way years ago. You see what I'm saying? That I was afraid of that. If I was afraid of that, like I'm afraid of spiders, because I did not want a kid early. I wanted a kid, you know, later on in life. But at the time, I met the woman, and we were in love, and everything was all good. I don't regret not one moment of my marriage. Um, and we ended up. I did it everything early. I was looking to get married at 25. I didn't. I got married at 19. Um, and you know, didn't want kids until after 25. We ended up having kids. I think I was 21. You know what I mean? So uh it was all good. Like I'm not going to complain about none of that. But today, you know, that's what happens. Like when you have old fashioned, you can do it the old fashioned way, but when you have it the other way, you having kids early, this, that, and the third. So also this is Rue that came back to say, but a man has a 8 hour shift, but a woman works is never done. Okay.
Ain't true.
Keep bringing
Ain't
in Miss
true.
Rue, because that's what all the
Come
women
on with
say,
it.
and we get discredited as men. But I know you're not trying to discredit men. but
No.
uh, and I'm gonna tell you like this. That's very true. But a man never, his work is not never ends either. Um, is that Miss Rue
If
again?
you
Say that.
participated.
Oh, Area 51 said latchkey kids is what we have today. They raise themselves, and see, that's very true. Like a lot of these
Yeah.
kids out here raising themselves, and that's why we have what we have today. It is horrible when it comes to respect, kids respecting adults, kids even they don't even respect themselves. So how can you expect for them to respect you? You see what I'm saying? So again, we doing some talk here, but we're gonna get in the nitty-gritty of what this show is about here in a second. And okay, so anyone else want to comment on anything?
I don't know. My question, like as I was listening to this, is like, how do we, like, how do we, like, I don't want to say change, but how do we adapt or help, right? As the coach in me is like, what's the question you need to ask yourself, like in moving forward and in those situations? Because I guess you would, I don't know if you technically, I would call me a latchkey kid. I don't know the full terminology, obviously, but I did, in retrospect, raise myself. I mean, at a certain age, at a certain point, both, I mean, my parents were very busy. I remember crying one time, real young, asking mom to, because she wasn't home on certain like nights of the week or whatever. And I remember crying, asking her to stay home or whatever. And she took a pay cut to be at home with the kids more but it was hard to make ends meet, obviously. So there was, I did, as soon as I hit high school, it was like, I did everything and kind of raised myself. So that's kind of what I was thinking, is like, how do we help? And I was thinking like the poverty, when we go into the poverty level, that's when we start seeing more of this pattern. So how do we raise that?
Right.
I know that's big and deep.
My girlfriend's at the game. She said, "Oh my God, Ja'Cory, that's Ja'Cory. Oh my God, he got so big." Katrina from Fleet Corps.
Hold on.
She doesn't. Her son plays for.
So, as all right. So look, right. So now, Miss Jeanette Brashear also said you shouldn't have to ask to go places or do things. Uh, you know what, Miss Rue, I would almost agree with you, but I don't. I'm gonna tell you why. Okay. So again, if you're at work, you just gonna walk out of work. I guarantee you say no. Uh, if you are at work and you have to go somewhere, Are you up to talking to your boss? Say, hey, look, I need to go so and so. Can you? I
Boss.
guarantee you won't just walk out. So again, marriage is a business,
Uh,
and that's why it has to be a business. Go ahead, Chelsea. It
oh,
seemed like you want to say something.
okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Sorry. It is a business and it's like, yeah, I mean, I agreed with that certain areas with that, but I mean, when you say it in that manner or in that tone or mannerism, it sounds like, oh, my boss, I got to check in you. Now, for example, um, I do it out of respect for some, like, I'll ask, even though you can tell me no, but I'm still going to walk over here and set up my office to get ready for my podcast. But out of common courtesy, because you were doing something that I was supposed to do because I got a little behind, I asked if I could go set up my office. Was I going to do it anyway? Yes. But out of respect for my husband, I asked him that. See? So, but he's not my boss. And I can, you know what I mean? But in certain areas, I guess so. It just depends on. Go ahead. That was my
No,
little
no, you're
rant.
fine. You're fine. And my brother-in-law said marriage is not a business, it's a job. Yes, it is a job, brother-in-law.
Ooh.
But here's is. If you had a job, where you working at? The business. You see what I'm saying? So it's a business. You see what I'm saying? But you're the head. You are the head of that business. You're the head of your marriage. So yes, you have jobs that has to be done within the marriage, but it's a business. So in a sense,
So you
you're
gotta
right.
ask.
In a sense, you're right. You know what, Chelsea? If you get a chance, if you can log off and log back on, I just want to see
Mhm.
if your internet, if it pops back on clear, because you was super clear at first, and then it went blurry, and then yours did the
Okay.
same thing too, Miss Lillian, because we about to get in
All
the
right.
nitty gritty of this.
Okay. So
All right, you
I
got
just close it and re-sign in.
yes. All right, so we just trying to get them so they can have a clear reception moving forward. So, but if I'm wrong, what I just said, y'all put it in the comments. Remember, I told y'all I don't mind being the bad guy. Y'all can tell me I'm the bad guy if that's the case. But yes, definitely a business, and you have if you don't run it right, it's going to fail. But the I'll let Chelsea get a moment to come right back in, and here she comes. Hold on one second. Now I'm off. Hold on one second.
Okay. Now we're back. Let's see. Can you hear me, Miss Lillian? Are we in vocals?
Yeah,
We
we
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
So
I
hold
can't
on.
hear Miss Lillian.
All right, Miss Lillian. Let me see. Oh, I know why. I know why. All right, now Miss Lillian, if you can try. Matter of fact, you just stay right there, Miss Lillian. All right.
Mm,
So now, okay, so let's get in the nitty gritty of this, right? So it's about the because the divorce rate right now is ridiculous when it comes to marriage, right?
yes.
And if I'm wrong,
Yes.
do any of you guys have a problem with the man being the head of the household?
I don't have a problem with the man being the head of the household, but I think it's so hard to say, like, you are the definitive head. But yes, I mean, he is I guess the best way for me to visually explain it is like you've got an umbrella, right? And you've got God, and he's the peak of the umbrella. So he's at the very, very top. So he's number one, always above everyone. And then next you have your husband, right? And then right there next to him, a little possibly below, maybe, I don't know, is you. So it's kind of this umbrella. So God carries all, and you fall under this. So your husband is your protector, and he's under you. But I don't think that it's hard to say. But yes, I believe that my husband is the head of my household, and I respect him as a leader, and I cherish his opinion as he does mine. So we're
Oh,
both leaders, I guess, in a way.
Chelsea, you
So
both
go ahead.
can't be leaders. It can't be.
I know, yes, he's the head, but it's hard to
Yes,
say. I mean,
it,
yes, of
it,
course, I believe that. Of
it,
course, of course.
yeah, but I'm just saying,
But
if
you're
we
right.
doubting it, Just go to the Bible and it'll
No,
tell
you're
you
right.
flat out. So
No.
here's the thing.
Wow.
Right. Right.
Oh, go
So
ahead.
so,
On
so
to the
Area
next
51.
civilian.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna ask her. Area 51 say
Okay.
taking care of a man in a marriage is full. It's a full time job. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But it's your job.
Why? I don't.
It's your job.
Oh,
So here's the thing. Miss Wendy also says that she said, does he know what that means? What the headship? And then shouts out to Ashley Hill coming in here. We appreciate you coming in, and we're getting ready to
woo-woo.
read her. Matter of fact, you go ahead and read her comment, Chelsea.
Technically, a marriage license is a contract of the joining of two people. So, on a paperwork level, it is a business. But the job comes in communication, showing up, and choosing one another every single day. She on point. That's my bestie.
Boom.
Love that. That
Yeah.
was just so like on point. It's the truth.
Right, right.
Yes,
And also, Miss Wendy came in to say, head of household is not ego, actually. It is
you're
more
right.
of a servant role. Now,
You're
that's
right.
where a lot of guys mess up at, letting them, them being the head,
You're right.
their ego, they're displaying their ego. And see, people don't understand how powerful the ego can get, whether it be in a man or woman. And a lot of times we have to check our ego. Me, I made sure that I didn't. I mean, if I was to get upset or whatever, I'm not putting it down like I'm the head of this household. I'm not gonna be sitting here trying to
Yeah.
prove that I'm the head of the household. I know I'm the head of the household. I've seen how it works through my father. Um, Shouts out to Brooklyn Z. He said, if it's a business, what is the product, service, profit, margin, or the product, service, so product,
You're gonna break it
service, profit
down.
margin. Now, I get what you're saying, but we're not talking money here. We're talking cold hard family. You know what I mean? You got to remember, when you have a business, you have a CEO, you have a president, you have workers, employees. So that's why it's a business. You can't have your son trying to step up to you when you're the head of the household. He has to know this. So that's just like you having one of your employees trying to step up to you and you the boss. Everybody has a label. Everybody has a role, and everybody has a label, like I said. So that's why it's not about profit. It's not about profit. But since you're talking profit, another reason why we're talking about this today, which is divorce. A lot of people getting divorced these days. And guess what? 50-50. Since you're talking profit, hold that for a second because we're going to get into that. Um, Area 51 said, it's my job and I know how to do my job well. That's great.
There you
Uh,
go.
but a lot of women need to stop judging if they do it. They need to check with their husbands to make sure that they're happy because that's when you know that you're doing a good job. You see what I'm saying? Check with your
Let me
husband.
flip that. Let me flip that. And if your wife isn't doing a good job, in your opinion, how about you check in with her? How about you ask her how she's actually feeling? Ask her if she's overwhelmed. Ask her if she needs a second to herself. When was the last time she had 5 minutes that she didn't have a kid hung on her boob or on her hip or something like that? So I agree 100% with what you're saying,
Hmm.
but let's do that too. Check in with her, see if she's okay, because maybe if that's her norm and normally she's on like, and check in. She may not be okay.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. But check this out. Here's the thing. Bottom line is that I was born a man. I have to accept everything that comes with being a man. You were born a woman. You have to accept everything that was coming to you as a woman. So if you choose to get married, all that you just said comes along with marriage. And just got to deal with it. Just like I have to deal with as a man, everything that I have to deal with. So
Yeah.
that's nothing you can change. It's nothing you can change about that. So let me go back to Brooklyn Z. He just said that, is it a non-profit or profit?
I think it's profit, buddy, but it's,
Let me tell you
you know,
something. It's a non-profit, but you profit off of love. You profit
I
off
was
of
gonna
happiness.
say,
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? That's where the profit comes in. At Miss Wendy says, head of household ask every second of every day,
Yeah,
how can I serve my household? Yeah, very true. Um,
absolutely.
yes. Hold on, let me get back to. I think I was. Oh, okay, no, no, no. All right, so now we're going to get to the point of us having this. Marriage is a beautiful thing. I can go all day, and I'm sure you guys can go all day about that, right? But what about when the marriage don't work and divorce comes into play? What about that, huh? Now, hold on. Somebody just put up another comment. Okay, Miss Wendy said, I agree. Area 51. All right. So here's my thing right here. Now, unfortunately, especially in the United States, divorce is a big thing. And that's not good. Divorce is a bad thing. It shouldn't even exist. Shouldn't even exist. So now it's being taken advantage of. So let's say this. In the United States here, they're doing the 50-50 thing. Do you think 50-50 should be used all the time? I'll start with you, Miss Chelsea. In marriage, do you think because of a divorce comes that 50-50 should happen?
I was talking about this before the show, and I did not have anything to do with the house that I live in that was 100% my husband before I was even a thought or we even knew each other. So if I were to get a divorce, if something were to happen, now not a lot of people think this way. I'm not going to sit there and say, give me half of your house because I had nothing to do with it. Right. Now, let me put this out here. I don't have children. Okay. So that adds an extreme level onto that, right? You're not having to keep your kids up or anything like that. But as a single woman, if I were to be, I mean, not single, if I were at that point, I would not be claiming your house. Those dirt bikes down there that are all yours, those I had nothing to do with them. Now, would I expect a little bit for you to help me because I did partake in paying the portion of all the utilities and all that while I was here? Yeah, so I would expect some kind of return to help me get a new place and go. But I'm not going to expect you to split every single dime of your things straight down the middle because that to me is not fair. But the Harley Davidson down there, guess what? Is mine.
Brum,
Mine.
brum,
But
brum, brum.
I paid for it, right? We did that together. So I don't know. No, I mean, I don't think you can literally say every single divorce needs to be 50-50. But when you start talking kids and you start talking babies, that's when it gets nitty and gritty.
Well, so
Miss
when you're saying,
Lillian,
oh yeah,
go
yeah, go
ahead.
ahead.
After that, we need to check in with Miss Lillian over there.
Yeah, go ahead, Miss Lily.
I'm a lot like Chelsea because I'm so independent. If I didn't bring anything to the table, I'm gonna leave with what I brought to the table. That's just how I am. Now when there's kids involved, I would expect that my husband would have enough respect for being a father to those kids to still make sure that they had a decent roof over their head and that they
Yes.
were still going to be taken care of regardless. But if I feel like what I didn't bring to the table, I don't want it. I feel like if we're going to let things go, we're going to let it go. I don't want anything from you but peace. That's all I want. I don't want anything else from you, especially if I feel like I didn't contribute. But it's the ego thing, I think, and I think that's why lots of times when
Yes.
people get divorced, it's an ego thing or it's a vindictive thing where they want to get back at that person because they feel like they don't want to be with them no more. So I'm gonna get whatever I can to get out of him to make sure he's miserable or that other person he decides to be with doesn't aren't able to share what we share together. I mean, that's just how people think. But I don't think like that. I just want a clean slate. I want to be able to walk away fair and square. And that's just
Mhm.
me.
You know what? I hate to say it, but then again, I don't. But I agree with both of y'all. Both of y'all just had good comments, good comebacks on that. But
You
this
thought
is
we
what we
weren't
have
going
to
to
do
have
because we have. So you get ready on this one,
Because it's
Miss Chelsea.
reality.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
reality.
reality.
It's reality. But Miss Chelsea, get
that.
ready
It's
for
not
this
real.
because
It's
you
not
got a lot. The comments are hot right now. So and we're gonna do them all. So read
Let's
Area
go.
51.
Let's go.
Read Area 51's first.
All right. You can't have your woman try to step up to you either. She has to know her role and her place as well.
That's
Okay.
true.
Yeah, that's very true. But I also
Both
want
ways. Works
I want her to
both ways.
clarify. I want her to clarify step up part. What does she means by step up? While we go into this next um uh
You know, step
comment
up. She's talking
right
step.
here. Once again, Area 51. You can read that.
I'm leaving. I'm leaving with what I came with, and he can keep what he came with. I don't think it should necessarily be 50-50. I mean, 50-50 means I paid 50%, he paid 50%, but I probably didn't pay 50%.
I'm trying to figure out why y'all are making all this good sense tonight. Because usually
You
most
thought
people
we
Because
were all gonna,
we're
all these
basing
women
it
gonna be
off
like,
our
uh-uh.
personality. We're basing it off our personalities. But it's a
right.
lot of vindictive women out there that are bitter. And I can honestly say that because I'm a woman and I think I can be fair at the end of the day. Lots of times women want 50 because they're bitter. It could have been because the man cheated on them or because they fell out of love, whatever the situation is. But a lot of women are bitter and vindictive, and that's why they always feel they should have 50-50 or even more because they feel like that's going to give them more power when you decide to split up and go through a divorce. It's just a power thing. I just honestly feel that's what it is. If the man is the man and he is who he is, he's going to do right by that woman, regardless if they have kids or not.
Amen.
All right. So look, we have a caller just called in, and I think it's Miss Wendy. But hold on, Miss Wendy. We're going to get these comments out of the way, because even Brooklyn Z has another good comment that he just came up with. But hold on, we did the 50-50. Okay, here's Brooklyn Z said. No, he actually had another one too. All right, well
Yeah,
go to
let's
Miss Ashley Hill. Read that one. And then
It
we'll get to
depends on
Brooklyn
the
Z.
roles. It says it depends on the roles in the relationship. If you both worked together to build an empire, then yes, 50-50. If not, I agree with the ladies. Whatever I brought in, I'll take. Yeah.
Oh boy, y'all
But
messing the
if
see, I
show
don't
up.
think we
We-
expected for this to be a smooth conversation. He
no,
wants
he's
somebody to come in
bewildered.
and say
Yeah.
that, right, I deserve 50-50 and I'm going to give 50-50. That's what he
Tell him.
expects from us, but
Amen.
we're a different breed of women or all women. Now you need to get some younger woman on here, maybe in her 20s or something like
yeah.
that. Or I feel like a woman that's going to feel differently is always going to be that bitter woman because y'all split up. So she's always going to want more than what she brought to the table. It
And
is what it is.
you're right. And also another thing to point out, we're all not sitting here in that situation, right? We're not all
Right.
sitting here. So like let's just point this out. Okay. If I'm getting a divorce, something pretty gnarly is going to have to happen, right? So if my husband goes out and he cheats on me with a bunch of different women and all of that, I'm also not sitting here saying, you know what, don't worry about your dirty bikes. I don't want 50%, but maybe I will dismantle them into parts that you can't even sell for parts. I don't know. See, that's the thing. I don't know because I have not been there, and who knows? I'm not
That's
that
true too,
person.
but
I'm not the
I've been in relationships and I have
Amen.
lived with people and we have split the rent or whatever the circumstances. Only thing we didn't have that title and there was no certificate of marriage. But I still walked away with what I brought to the table. It all depends on the person. I'm just not that type of person and I've been hurt. Trust me, I've had people walk out for no reason whatsoever. But did I let that go and still because yes, I want peace. I just rather have peace at the end of the day. And everybody's not like that. So to me, it doesn't matter what you brought to the table, what you didn't bring. It all comes back to you as an individual and what kind of person you are. I'm sorry. That's how I feel
Amen.
about it.
And I agree with y'all. Like I told y'all messing the show up. I need that. No,
Well,
no, but
actually, this next comment, this next comment is fire.
yeah, you talking about Brooklyn Z, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
The
boy.
reason why,
Why
and
should
and,
that?
and I think that he what made him say that was because of what Miss Lillian was talking about, which is so. Go ahead and read it, Chelsea, and then you comment on it, and we all comment.
Okay. Why should the women get the kids? So this, oh my goodness, this is like is hard. I don't think if it is fair in a lot of areas toward men when it comes down to the children and automatically it going 100% whatever to the woman, and it especially for a good and loving father. I know people that are probably still in relationships to this day out of fear of not being able to see their children, and that is so sad. It breaks my heart. So I don't, especially if she doesn't have a stable situation, like Brooklyn Z also said, and I agree. Why is it not looked at fairly? Why is it not considered? That's the father of that child, so most women say
You know
that
what,
until
brother?
thing happens.
Brother-in-law Tony hit it on the head because I was gonna say this. I said, see, y'all trying to be all
I
good when
know.
something really happened. So he said most women say that until a certain thing happened. I'm calling BS creep. And you know what? I'm gonna agree
That's
with
why I
you,
said what I said.
brother-in-law. So y'all up there tomorrow. No, I'm gonna come with. I'm gonna leave what I came with. I'm in this. If he was cheating, I just, you know what? It's a word.
No.
There's a word called I'm sorry. So every time when somebody, if they cheat or whatever, you gotta remember, Jesus was put here as a model for us. And one of the main things, one of his beautiful, loving things was forgiveness. Every time, if that happens, sometimes you don't always have to just leave. You could say, "I'm sorry." Help them if you love them. Y'all go get some counseling and some therapy together.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You don't always have to. That's what I see on TV. Girl, how much this? They got shoes throwing and flying and everything, and I'm getting 50-50. I'm getting millions of dollars each month for what? What can you do in 1 month with $1 million except be a dummy if you want to just blow it? So also let me see. Area 51, go ahead and read that one. And Miss Wendy, in fact, you can come in on these comments while we're talking about it. Come to think of it, okay?
Okay.
All right. So go ahead and read that, Chelsea.
I left with nothing and I paid for it all, but I left with nothing and started over much easier.
And I would like to know, and that was Area 51. Sometime, if you can, in the comments, tell us the reason why you left. I mean, you chose to leave with nothing, and there's nothing wrong with that because some people, okay, you hate the situation so much, but you want to take a piece of it. So, okay. Also, okay. Now we read that one. Now we're gonna go to hold on one second. Area 51 said at brother-in-law. Let me see. I left with okay. Okay, simply 10 said he thought it would be an argument tonight. Talking about me.
Yeah.
I know how to start it.
Yeah.
So, okay, Miss Chelsea, read. Okay, brother-in-law, right there.
Y'all women had a Zoom before the show and chose to be relative on the subject. LOL.
Oh, no.
Y'all sneaky. That's probably what they did, Tone. You got anything to say
Shoot.
about that, Miss Wendy?
Yes, I was gonna play devil's advocate because I felt like that was. I mean, I get it, and no, I don't think everybody's gonna walk away and say, "Oh, I'm gonna leave with what I came with," because that's relative. I mean, at the end of the day, if you came and you're thinking about somebody that's been married 30, 40 years, and they decide that it's done, I know you're not gonna think back to 40 years ago when you had a box with your drawers and some lotion in it,
Right.
and say that's all you're taking and you leaving. And then at the same time, I'm hearing that you're going to be pouring into this marriage everything that you have, each person. So each person came with something, but it wasn't materialistic. So that kind of puts a dent in it's a business, it's a job, you know what? It's a union.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
definitely a
coming
union.
together. If we're going to talk about what God said, that's what God said. It's a union. He ain't say it's a job. That's the government, state, and everything else signing off on documents and certificates and whatnots. And you actually simply supposed to come before God and your friends and say, this is the person I'm going to spend the rest of my life with to death do us part. All the rest is what knots that's been thrown in there so that it can become a business to divide properties and monies and things like that. But you can't divide memories. You can't get back those. You can't get back the emotions. You can't get back the support when things happened in your life and that person was there for you. If they're going to be your best friend, so I'm breaking down everything I've heard since I've been 16. If this is your best friend, can you divide those memories and toss them out the door? Can you split them? Yeah, you had your own versions of what happened in that moment, but is that really what's getting split up at the end? To say that you came in with what you're gonna leave with what you came in with? You can't lose your memories. You can't lose your interactions. You can't lose any of that. So what are you really splitting up when you say, I want 50-50? You had 50-50 the whole entire time.
Right.
So collectively, the union has created and built and, been sustained off of equal parts pouring in. I don't believe in divorce anyway, so I'm going to put that out there.
Okay.
I've
You,
never
you, you
been
don't
married, but I don't believe in it.
you don't believe in what
No,
divorce or what you don't believe
no,
in?
I'm not getting divorced.
Yeah.
You marry me, that's it.
Neither.
Amen.
I said the same thing.
I'm
I
just
don't.
saying. You can be mad.
That's why I get my
Amen.
divorce.
Much
You
respect to
can be
you.
whatever you want to be.
Yeah,
But
much.
I'm going to be on one side of that house and your ass going to be on the other. Because guess
Yes.
what? I'm not going nowhere.
You know what?
We did this. We going to do what you just said.
You
Go
know
to
what, Miss
therapy,
Wendy?
figure it out.
Miss
Yeah.
Wendy, much respect to
Yes,
you
sir.
for that because that's how
So
I am.
much.
I'm like that too. Like if you get married, you're supposed to stay married. I
Damn
mean,
right.
till death do us
Right.
part.
So that's
I
right.
mean, why would you let something in this world break you up?
Mm-hmm.
If you make that decision, that's a lifetime decision. You see what I'm saying?
Let no man
So
put us under.
yeah. So
That's right.
I'm with that.
Amen.
You want to read Ashley Hill's comment?
But let's not forget to play devil's advocate. Georgia is a 50-50 state.
Right. See, that's why Georgia won't be in my marriage. George won't be in my marriage because they can 50-50 all at once. That ain't popping off. Because I'm telling you something. I guarantee you, whatever woman, if let's say if I was to get married, I guarantee you she ain't gonna get out there and grind like I do. So it ain't no 50-50. You see what I'm saying? Like
That's because you ain't married to me. Because I'm a grind even.
Yes.
Oh dang.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
Devil's
I was
advocate.
like, I
Amen.
We'll be equally, but I'm a grind just as hard as you, sweetheart. I am. That's just me.
Uh-oh. I mean, hey,
But would you have
Ego.
to if there was a man that's the head of the household and you're being that woman that's caring for the household?
right. Area 51
Good question.
has a comment there. You want to read that one, Chelsea?
When you were talking about the man being the head of the household and you could not have your son stepping up to you, you also can't have your woman stepping up to you or anyone else.
I agree. You see what I'm saying? Because that's why it's a business. That's just like, okay, if you have the army or even the police department, you have captains, you have lieutenants, you have officers, deputies, whatever. They have their place in that business. You see what I'm
That's so
saying?
true.
So you can't. That's how the marriage is. That's why it's the way it is, and some people just don't understand that. You see what I'm saying? So let's move on to the next one, which is because we get loaded on a and we're gonna try to get everybody's comment. So keep commenting. Um, brother-in-law said y'all women had. Oh, we got
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, we have that one.
Let me see.
Yeah, we got that one.
Yeah, we got
Let me
that.
see. All right, 51. You were okay. That all right. Brooklyn Z said, "Y'all keeping it real." Yeah, we definitely got to keep it real on this channel
For
here,
sure.
and we appreciate y'all on here for keeping it real as well. So, all right, Area 51. You want to read that one, Chelsea?
That mac and cheese with everybody in Georgia, and I'm still gonna leave with what I brought only. That mac
See,
and cheese with everybody.
much,
Yeah.
much respect. I mean, because like I said, you go on YouTube or just watch TV or just listen to the radio, and they are wanting crazy amounts for child support, crazy amounts for alimony. I mean, honestly, it's just not even worth getting married if you're a man, and that's what the United States is doing to marriage. They are actually messing marriage up. They think they're helping it, but you have a lot of feminists that have their foot in it, and that's why it's leaning more towards women. But the women they don't have to do that. They can be a real woman and say, hey, no, I came in here, this is what I came with, and this is what I'm going to leave with. That's what y'all saying tonight, but I don't believe it.
Amen.
No, I'm messing with y'all. So look, let's get back to the let me see, at Ashley Hill. You want to read that one?
What she got? What she got?
Oh, my bad. I put it up there for you. My bad. Go ahead.
At Ashley Hill, that is a problem in itself. Ashley, the government shouldn't be involved with our marriage, with our marriages anyway. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I wasn't even going to really get married. It wasn't kind of a big thing, but I found the right one and God made it apparent. So that's why I love with what Wendy was saying, because of course what I'm saying has to be speculation, because I waited and intentionally, I don't believe in it. I know that I'm going to be with my partner for the rest of my life, and that excites me, and I'm not going to God is the focus. And I think that is an element that people don't have is a relationship with the Heavenly Father, with Jesus Christ, to have that at the forefront, or whatever your spiritual belief is in, but having those moral compasses in at the forefront is the most important, because when we are both struggling and we're both at our low, where do we go? To God. So that's kind of how I feel on that.
Agree.
Well, yeah, I agree on that too. I mean, because when you get married, you can't think of these fairy tale stories, that we grew up on, we see on the movies and stuff like that, and think it's going to be like that. When you get married, you got to be ready for the good, the bad, and the dusty. You see what I'm saying? And you can't let the dusty overtake your marriage or whatever. So, did you read this one already? Because it gave me.
No.
Okay, you want to go ahead?
No.
That's Area 51.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Because it gave me more peace in my life than to continue to argue over material things. And my relationship was in there with domestic violence involved. And it was just much easier for me to leave. And yeah, absolutely. Much respect.
Oh, yeah.
At that point, you just want to get out.
I want to
and
share
start
something.
fresh. Yes, ma'am.
It just two things, something to add to that, which is it's actually a true story, and it's actually happened to somebody I know very close to me. There was a domestic violence situation where he literally stabbed her several times. And if you met them today, and clearly they're still together, almost 20 years later, if you met them today, You would never know that happened in a relationship. I still don't understand it to this day. But their cornerstone was the Bible, until death do them part, good, good, bad, and in between, and everything else. And literally, he even served time for it. And they are still together to this day.
Wow.
And people often see them and ask, oh my God, make those same comments. Oh my God, I want to have a relation like you guys. And blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking about that. You don't have a clue what they done with her to say that. But just to put that in, it's the power of God. I just don't understand it clearly. Never, I don't think anybody will fully understand it. But to know that is possible just because you believe to that degree.
Right. Now that is powerful.
It just, that is something I've never seen. I never thought I would ever see. But yeah, that actually happened. And then the second thing I was going to say, just devil's advocate, we are talking a lot about the man having all this money and the woman wanting half and blah, blah, blah. But all these bosses out here, they got all the money in the house. They being taken to the cleaners too. It's just a mentality of who has the money. Because they want that 50-50, these men out here asking for their 50-50. And that makes me even more, it's just a level of disdain for that, because it's like, you didn't even take it on your role as the head of the household.
Right. And
you let her take on the role to begin with. You wrong. And then you want to come to the table and say, I want a divorce and I want half.
Yeah,
bruh,
that's wild.
I'm so sorry. He takes me back all the way.
So you would, so you're talking about, was that a man you were talking about that's supposed to be the boss, or the woman?
The man is supposed to be the head of the household. He's supposed to be providing. And in this day and age, what I'm saying, like I was asking before, what is everybody's version of boss? Because you have all these women that, I get my money, I'm doing my money, I'm grinding, I'm getting, I'm da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So I don't have time for the household, I don't have time for cleaning, doing whatever. So outside of the natural role of things, we're talking about today's woman, right? So that's the case. And then when it doesn't work, because he's not going to have this woman bossing him around and telling him what to do. Now he wants to be the man. He wants to be in a household, but financially, he can't take on that role and never has. But he's going to come to the divorce court and say he wants half.
Right.
It's as grimy as the fact that you never stood in your proper role to begin with.
Right.
And expected something different. How can you go in and expect something different? But you didn't bring anything different. You brought this thing the whole entire time, and then you come to a divorce table saying you want half. That's disgusting.
Right. Chelsea, you can read brother-in-law.
Sure. I'm sorry. Unless the woman already has more than the man, she's gonna want something. Whether you just want to go, you cheat, etc. Here it goes. It's in their nature. Yeah. Buddy. It's in our nature. It's not just in our nature. No, I don't believe that somebody's going to want something. Here's a question. Here's a good question. If your wife or if your woman is making more than you, are you going to feel demasculated? And is there a number? Do you have to make more money than your wife? And if it's not, do you have an issue? Does it make you actually feel some kind of way?
I'm going to tell you like this. In cases like that, a lot of guys, I'm going to tell you, 99% of the guys end up bragging on their wives. Man, Shugs, man, my wife, she make this and da-da-da-da. That's some beta. That's a beta move. He's a simp. Like when a man, first of all, when a man, goes into a marriage, and see, that's a modern day marriage right there. Remember the old fashioned marriage, the man is working. So the woman is, that's the income right there. You know what I mean? So, but you have a lot of guys that want to specifically get with women that's making money because they don't want to do anything. You see what I'm saying? And they want to be the beta. Oh, sure, I'll do anything they become like an empath, doing anything that the woman want them to do. You see what I'm saying? So it's okay if you just so
So
happen y'all
yeah.
meet and your wife make more than you. Okay, great. But when you out there bragging, yeah, man, she pulling it in, say, that's just stupid. That
Oh yeah,
how
you don't
much
need
of a
to.
man do you look like?
You don't. That's the thing.
And I agree. You don't need to
Yeah.
brag about it.
Right.
But so the
Right.
answer that question, it would be yes. Like for example, hypothetically speaking, Creed, if you went out and you were looking and having a potential partner,
Mhm.
would there be an issue if you liked this person and that person made more money than you?
You said would I like the person? I mean, really, it don't
Would
matter.
there be an issue
Um,
because that person you're
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like me personally, like I wouldn't even deal with the situation. That's just not even my thing. Like I wouldn't. First of all, I have a model of a relationship. Like if the woman's working and all that
yeah,
stuff, that's not what I want to get in a relationship with for. I got,
gotcha.
like I don't want to be working and she working too. Because in order to make money or to make good money, you got to work. So I don't want that. Like, what would be the purpose? I'll just stay single. You see what I'm saying? And then again, the way the United States is handling marriage. I mean, we think first of all, it's mostly women that are out there divorcing first. That's why a woman should not be the one to lead. Argue, argue with me, and I'm gonna tell you why. That's just like
You need
Stacey.
to say that again, real clear for all the
Right.
ladies.
Right.
Hold on.
Women,
Say
women should not be leading. Okay, they should not be
and
leading.
that leads to what?
Amen.
Huh?
No, you
Meaning what?
said more women are filing for divorce than men. This is
Amen.
why men should not. Okay, go ahead, Miss
This is
Wendy.
why
I
men
thought
shouldn't
I
what?
heard you say something. Shouldn't
Okay.
be head of household or leads.
Oh no, no,
This is
no,
why
no,
they
no. I
should.
didn't say that. I didn't say that. But I'm just saying women are filing for divorces. If you sit there and look,
No, I don't disagree.
most
I'm
women
just
up
saying.
there, I divorce him. They think that's cool. Yeah, I left his butt, girl. What does that mean? Now,
It's
now,
just it's an ego thing. They just want to be able
yes,
to
That's
say.
yes,
All
yes.
it is just that's an ego thing. It really is.
it's
Yeah, it is.
half
You're
all
right.
spoiled.
And see, the crazy thing is they are messing it up for good women because now a lot of men don't even want to get married anymore. And then you have, like I said, the way the United States, like what we are going through with this divorce thing, it's just getting thrown around so loosely that it's ridiculous.
Mhm.
And then here's the thing about it, if we thinking that what goes on here in the United States is going on all around the world, no, it's different. I'm gonna take for instance the Muslim religion. I respect and I agree with this right here. I agree with this. It says traditionally Islamic law does not recognize the concept of material wealth. First of all, if you get married, you marry. Who cares about your money? Who
Mhm.
cares? You getting married, that has nothing to do with your marriage. As long
Right.
as you can take care of your household, you're fine, right?
That's
And then
right.
it says married spouses are not required to share their income and assets, but each spouse is entitled to ownership of assets they brought into the marriage.
Marriage.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that's how it's supposed to be. But given the United States, 50-50, this, that, and the third, and these women, I mean, it's ridiculous. And then I can see here's where I can agree with 50-50. You meet a woman. I'm a man. You meet a woman. Let's say if y'all was on the same journey, trying to build this, you know, a tree business, and y'all out there, y'all grinding, y'all planting seeds. She's
Mhm.
mirroring everything that you doing. She's planting seeds. When you right there, she right there. She throws 6 seeds, you throw 6 seeds. You understand? And you watering
Mhm.
the
Get
soil,
from
she's
cat
watering the
to
soil.
the
Yes,
realist.
yes.
Right.
That's 50-50. That's 50-50. But when you are talking about, oh, I'm sorry, I'm so used to living this way. He has to take care of me. He took care of me that way. So they're so backwards. If he took care of you so much, so well, You should be grateful. Bye.
He said
You should be grateful for when he was taking care of you. Enjoy yourself.
Mm.
And then you the one that's divorced him. Come on, it don't make sense. America does not make sense. I'm telling you. Yes, we're in a great place, but it's not making sense these days. Right here, and don't get me wrong. We're pulling up these comments, but I'm pulling them up late. So they're talking about things prior or previous to what we're talking about right now. I just want to make sure showing the respect of getting everybody's comment in. Right here, Ashley Hill said, "Amen. You haven't seen Hustle yet." It was
right.
due to
For
something we were
real
talking about.
though.
Hey, you know what? I didn't even know my brother Dougie was up in the building. What's going on, Dougie?
Amen.
Oh, we have Tarita. We have Tarita in the building. What's going on, Tarita? Thank you for stopping by as well. She said, "Excuse typo as I hit send too fast." Okay, so she must have a previous comment up there. And like I said, I'm gonna get everybody's comment, and I'm gonna read Tarita's comment right there. But Brooklyn Z said, technically, God is cool. Polygamy. I'm not talking about sleeping around. I'm talking about men having multiple families. It's in all the holy books. Okay. Do y'all have a problem with polygamy?
Don't kill the messenger hashtag.
Right.
That's the
Right.
greatest part.
Okay. So
that's a
yeah,
conversation right there.
yeah, it is. And as a matter of fact, don't even comment on. We're gonna have a topic on that one day. And Brooklyn Z, I hope you're in
Yeah,
here.
let's save that, right?
So
That's a topic for another day.
Yeah. So then
just
we have
open up another can of worms.
right.
Hey, but I can have that conversation.
Oh, okay. Right here we have also Ashley Hill. You want to read that one?
Yeah. But in a pack of wolves, there is an alpha female and an alpha male. No one has to bow to one another. They both lead. And that is, I think, Crete. I think the new, right? I think that what you refer to as wrong version of the household, right? That's the way I like to look at it. Ultimately, yes, right before the first one in the pack is the alpha male. So he is the head. I don't disagree with that. But right behind leading, you have the alpha female. So go ahead.
Okay. So, okay. Thank you for your comment, Miss Ashley Hill. Okay.
Yes.
In this pack of wolves, you have two alphas, right? So now we have two alphas in a house walking around. But at some point, very soon, the real true alpha is going to have to come out. As soon as when that female alpha step to him, then the male alpha is going to have to show him who the real alpha is. And that's where it's going to get distinguished.
I think that goes both ways, though. I think that goes both ways because a woman alpha, hold on, I didn't know much, right? I didn't know that was so much of being spoken to in a certain manner or of certain things to where I am going to check you, buddy, if you cross my boundary. However you choose to receive that is how you choose to receive that.
Yeah, right.
Respect.
Okay.
That's it.
So you're
gonna let my man have that window, right?
So but you're talking about the female alpha checking the male alpha.
Yes.
Okay, let me ask you this. Honestly, I want you to be I don't know you of lying or nothing like that. I know you ain't gonna lie, but how you think that's gonna work out?
If my man or if is stepping out of place and he is stepping on morals that we values that we established in our foundation as a non-negotiable is not okay. And this is something not just one time, right? We have bad days and we slip up. Look, you're listening to respond, not actually look, the lips are moving like
I mean, I get what you're saying.
So listen, let me finish. When he's stepping on those morals over and over and over again, right, to a point where it's becoming what is going to be a pattern, it's a cycle that I am allowing because I can't blame him continuously, if I'm allowing him to do
Right.
that, I am going to have to check my man. And I know I'm not going to step to him like you think I'm saying, right? I'm not going to come to him and say, what the heck, man? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to come to him with respect, remember, delivery, calmness, respect, and say, you hurt my feelings. You're stepping on things that we had talked about. You called me this name, and where did this come from? Like, what am I doing that's upsetting you so bad for you to disrespect me in this way? So when I say that, obviously, I don't mean step up, come at me, bro. So I think that's where the argument, not argument, but the conflict comes. Go ahead.
Okay, so I know. I mean, I'm taking it that you know Ashley personally.
Yeah.
So I
She's
want you
my
to answer for you and Miss Ashley.
Oh, I don't know if I can speak for her, but I'll try. Go ahead.
It's a simple question. Bottom line,
Okay.
who is going to be the alpha in there? And since she just dropped, I'm gonna leave that to you, Miss Lillian. She'll be back. Who do you think is the true alpha in that? I don't care. Hold on one second, y'all. Sorry about that. Miss Chelsea.
I'm here.
Okay. All right. Okay. Hold on one second. All right. I'm going to. Okay. I want you to answer this question. And shouts out to my son Willie Bars in the building. What's up, son? I love you.
He is tuned in.
Who do you honestly think is the true alpha in that relationship?
My husband, obviously.
Okay, so we can cut that pack of wolves situation out.
But it doesn't mean that I.
No, you're going to
Yes.
say what you got to say. Your husband loves you, and he's going to respect you, and he's going to listen to what you have
Correct.
to say. But bottom line,
Correct.
when a decision is being made, guess who makes that decision?
No,
The true
I don't
alpha.
think he makes the final say.
The true
He
alpha
doesn't
is
have
going to
the
make that.
final say, though. Would you say though that the alpha has the final say on anything, right?
Let me say this. You can say what you want. You can say what you want. But the final decision is made through that true head in your household, which is Dr. D.
D in the house.
Yeah, I called him Dr. D.
I love it. I can't wait.
So that's where that's how that's gonna go down.
I guess. I mean, in a sense, yes. If he
see
not
internet.
having,
Say that again.
yes, I'm gonna. No, I'm not saying it again. If he put his
your internet is
breaking up.
Yeah, your internet is breaking up. I think because it's on the female alpha line that it's breaking up. Your internet is on the female alpha band.
Do you want to fight?
So what I'm saying, yeah, you can say what you want. At the end of the day, it's Dr. D's decision. That whatever goes down is going to be his decision. And see, that's what the problem is with a lot of these younger girls. And I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about like, younger, the new generation. They want to be alphas, and you're not an alpha. You just a loudmouth. You're making bad decisions and all kinds of stuff, and know nothing about a relationship. And so they want to be all up in men's faces. You understand what I'm saying? Because they don't have respect. They don't respect themselves. When you see people being disrespectful, that's because they don't respect themselves. All right. So at Miss Wendy, it's called Stockholm, and that was Area 51. I forgot what she named it. Okay, so now we have Reynard Biles, right? Say it's time to stop drinking milk and start eating meat. Thy comes the growing in the presence of the Messiah, Jesus Christ. Now, he has some truth to that. He definitely has some truth to that. And like he said, stop drinking milk. That's what babies do. Now it's you're an adult. Start eating that meat. Right? So I'm going to the next one. And also Reynard Bow said, with all areas of life, financially, etc. And then hold on one second. We got Miss Ashley again. She said, talk about a big ego. Um, talk about a big ego. You talking about the 50s. We're them 50s barbiturates at the top. At it was a barbiturates at to put up with all that. Okay, all right. We have another caller. Oh, hold on one second.
Big ego. You're
Miss
talking
Wendy?
about in the 50s.
Miss Wendy?
Yes.
Okay. We have a new caller. Hello.
Hi.
Hey,
Hi,
how are you?
DJ
Thank you.
Concrete.
Thank you for calling. Um,
You're welcome.
okay. What did you wanna bring up?
Well, I wanted to mention that a lot of times people just focus on the material aspect in the marriage when it's over, when you have the divorce, the 50-50, half of this and half of that. But when you take it back to the core center of marriage and basically what it means, the two people are in a union, and yes, they're in that union before God. They made a vow to love each other, to be loyal to each other, through thick and thin, even up till death do you part. But also, you have to remember that Jesus also stipulated in the Bible that only grounds for divorce is adultery. So if adultery is factored in the marriage, and a lot of people can speak, I'm a grind with him, I'm a go to the low with him, I'm a do this with him. But if you're in a marriage where you have, it's your choice to stay and to forgive. Yes, we should forgive. And we don't know what that woman has forgiven or had to go through in the marriage because we're not walking in that woman's shoes. And it doesn't have to do with anything of bitter or anything like that. When you have grown with the individual from being a teenager all the way for like 30 years, you guys were together from teenagers to all the way. So through that factor from a teenager to adulthood, raising children, then there's steps, meaning that there's growth. Each male, he's growing, the woman is growing. So you start to mature more, you start to change. But then you might have a spouse, either the woman or the man. Someone is like going out of that marital bed bond and they're being with other people. Maybe not just once or not just twice, not just 3 times, several times. So then that puts the innocent person in a certain situation where, okay, you have venereal diseases, then you're going through verbal abuse, then you're going through, fighting, violence. So all of those factors can make a person want to end a relationship, end a marriage. So how much do you grind? How much do you stick in there? You stick in there and then you come emotionally scarred, physically scarred, spiritually scarred. So what do you want to have? Just to say, I stuck in there with the man? Just to have those words come out of your mouth or to make it look good to other people? Or do you want to be happy and be at peace and feel loved? Because first of all, you got to love yourself. So marriage is bigger than just the money part of it or just the you should stick in there. What he take, if I come in with nothing, I leave with nothing. But it's not like a marriage where you just met a person 5-6 years ago and you married, but starting from a child, teenager, all the way up to your hitting 49, 50 years old and you stuck in there. So it's a bigger, deeper story than just the surface. So a lot of times, we speak because we don't know. But each person has his own choice. But before God, yeah, marriage is for till death do you part. But Jesus also said, but if adultery is there, you have a choice to either stay or you leave. But that's the grounds of it. So I just wanted to say that.
Well, I appreciate you calling in and I appreciate what you're saying. And
You're
I agree
welcome.
with you. I agree with you. But here's the thing. when all that stuff, if that's something that you went through, okay, I hear you talking, but what I didn't hear of you trying to seek any help, not just for yourself personally, because a marriage is two. So it sounds like you and that person needed to seek some therapy. And therapy is a beautiful thing. Some people think, "Oh, I'm getting therapy. People going to think I'm crazy." As I tell people, if you ready to run and get a massage on your body, why not get a massage on your mind? And that's what therapy is. And that hurt that you had in your body when you got that massage and they worked it out, you can get that same hurt taken out of your brain with a therapist. And if you're
Yeah,
going
that's
to,
That doesn't
true.
always.
yeah, you say that again.
I
I
said, but
said,
that
yeah,
doesn't
therapy
always.
is great.
Right. No, and Chelsea, you said that doesn't always work.
That doesn't always work. If you try, I mean, and you guys actually do and go through that, yes. I mean, but I always say that's the first step before you get a divorce or even consider it is talk to somebody and go get help and therapy. But if somebody has committed adultery multiple times over, you seeked help and there has been no progression or anything, then I agree. I mean, I at that point, I would leave.
Okay, and that's fine because you know what?
Yeah.
The beautiful thing is that you have a choice. That's
Amen.
your choice.
Amen.
That's your choice.
Amen.
That's just like that's her choice, right? So
Amen. Very well said.
what you're going to do with that is that, like Miss Wendy said, if you get married, you're going to stay married. That's just like if
Mm-hmm.
a person, if a
Exactly.
person, let's say if one time y'all had the greatest, y'all was jogging, y'all was hiking, y'all was having a lot of great intimacy. Then that person, one of the people lose their leg. What if they lose their leg and their
Mhm.
arm? What you gonna do? You leaving,
Love you.
or you,
Love you.
or are okay? So if a person, many people have many different illnesses and sicknesses and disorders, right? So if you're going to get married, are you willing to deal with it? That's what you have to think of in marriage. When you look that person in their
Mhm.
eyes, you're going to say, you know what? I'm sticking with you through thick and thin, thick and thin.
But you're not going
So
to keep cheating on me.
yeah, but that's fine. That's fine. So that's the reason why a lot of
Right.
women divorce first, because your feelings and emotions get into it and you can't hang. That's why, not you, but that's why the women are not the leaders, because there's too many feelings involved. And then if a man does that, right? Y'all women can do something just as bad and the man could stick in there. See, men, we don't do that a lot like that. When the last time you heard, man, I left her because she was cheating on me? Yes, men do it, but y'all women cry out loud every time it happens. Every time it happens,
DJ Concrete,
yes, ma'am.
DJ Concrete,
Say
DJ
it.
Concrete,
Please say it.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
DJ Concrete. You know, you're right about the man is the leader. He's the head of the household.
Mhm.
But who's the head of the man? Is Christ. And the head of the woman is man.
Amen.
So if Christ is your head, then you're going to answer to the way that you treat the woman, because he has placed you in a home not to just be a head, but you're missing a verb there, which is an action verb, which is a loving head. Meaning that he doesn't say my
Mm.
wife belongs in the kitchen, in the bedroom. Make sure my dinner is on that table when I get home. And when I get home, I can kick up my feet. You made them kept taking care of all the three kids. Make sure them kids taken care of, dried, bathed, and clean. Make sure you get some dishes done. Make sure you got my clothes ready for work the next day. And he's chilling, but she's still running around, basically almost probably about to pull her hair out, trying to cater and take care of the home, and he can chill. That's not how it works spiritually. So when you have a household and your household is serving God, you're on that same holiness and that same oneness with God, the man's gonna run the household properly, not dominating his wife, but lovingly guiding her. And what she's gonna do, she's gonna submissively follow his leadership. That's how it works.
Okay, so let me say this. I don't care what Bible you put in front of anybody. No man's perfect. That dream that you just talked about, apparently you didn't grow up. That must be how you grew up. I grew up with a woman in the house where my father did not have, yes, it was 10 of us. My father didn't have to worry about no dinners on the table. He didn't have to yell about it. My father didn't have to worry about his wife going out dressing crazy like a lot of the modern day women do. He didn't have to worry about that. He didn't have to worry about her trying to step up to him aggressively,
but the modern day man,
like she has a penis, like she pees standing up. Because that's what most of these women do today. You know, they just want to, and I'm talking about just some of the women, they want to be so tough and everything. So anyway, what I'm telling you, to my point, you have these guys, and they be quick to throw the Bible into it, right? Like these guys, oh, he's so Bible. Throw a piece of ass in front of his face and see if he put the Bible down.
How much Bible is there?
Exactly.
But DJ Concrete though.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you saying that now majority of the men are like that. Okay, so you can even have a man who professes that he's a spiritual person or whatever. Yes, too. They're imperfect as well. So just because they're reading the Bible and worshiping God doesn't mean that they can't make a mistake. That's not what we're saying, because we're all imperfect. Right. But what he's going to do, hopefully, that man, that spirituality, that what God gives us, Holy Spirit, comes in and helps this man. Okay, what's going to happen if I do this? Am I going to lose my wife? I'm going to lose my relationship with God. My children's going to be upset about what I did to their mother. So what is called this perceptive power starts to kick in, because you recognize that you have something way more valuable at home than the woman out there on the street. Because you know why? She's not a strange woman. You're familiar with that woman at home. Everything is clean with her. But what about the strange woman that you met that you think is so fine? That you think is so great, that you think is agreeable. Wait a minute, let me finish this, and I'm let you talk. You think it's so agreeable with everything that you say. What about when y'all get into the relationship and then the true colors start to surface? Because everybody can put on a facade and say, I'm like this, I'm going to do this. Yeah, you got it right. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
It's good and dandy. But when you get into that, it could be a whole different story.
But check this out. You're absolutely right. I can be that guy with the Bible and say, I'm so holier than thou, and I'm going to take care of you spiritually, until he get in there, and then things change. Or what about sometimes if you have a woman that you meet her, she's so spiritual, and then you start to get into it and say, you know what, I think this is a real spiritual woman, but then you find out she ain't that spiritual, and you find out, what kind of people's brought her up.
So if you get into a relationship with a woman and then you say, oh, she's not so spiritual. Mm-hmm. So when we take spirituality with the individual, spirituality doesn't mean perfection. So that means a person can make a mistake, right? Here in a relationship.
That's what we're talking about here.
I'm sorry?
No, I said that's what we're talking about here. When,
right. Well, when does it come to, though, Concrete, when does it come to where it's no longer a mistake, or, they fell in this at one time? What is it when it comes to several? What is it when it comes to where it's so disrespectful in the home and in front of the children, and she still stays? What example is she setting even for her own daughters or sons? Because the son is looking at the father and how he treats the mother. the daughter is looking at it as well, because if she becomes an adult, what kind of man is she going to choose? You know,
Well,
what kind of way is the son's going to treat his wife? So it starts in the home. You
yeah.
can't blame
Yeah.
it on the woman's parents. If she was raised with two parents and they were spiritual, and the father and mother are still together, married, taught their children spiritually, that's kudos to those parents. Like, we know no household is perfect, but we're talking about the gross sins of God,
I'll
what
tell
he
you what.
condemned.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna nip this in the bud, and you can keep
Okay.
talking. But if the
No.
man is out there doing that, step your game up.
Amen.
Uh-huh.
Step your
Okay,
game up as a
okay.
woman. Step your game
All
up as
right.
a
I was
woman.
gonna say,
Hi, Mr.
I think
Concrete.
we can all agree on the fact that if you have a man doing those kind of things and in that home and all of that, at some point, correct, step your game up and make the decision not to put up with it. And that's why you have to have that boundary.
Or step your game up and make him not want to do any of those things.
Absolutely not. If he's going to continuously cheat, oh, absolutely not. I'm
Well, that's
sorry.
why
I'm
the
like,
world. That's why the world is full of single women, and there's so
oh,
many
you
more.
can't
It's
say
and it's
that
so. And listen, it's
because
so
I'm
many.
going to
Now,
allow.
listen. It's so
All
many
right,
more
go.
women than it is men. So have at it. I wish I had the song "Hit the Road, Jack" on here because I'll surely play it right now.
Hit the road, Jack. No.
Yeah.
I am saying
That's so
something.
funny.
I am saying something. You cannot say, you can say whatever you want, actually. We live in the US, so you can say whatever you want. So I can too. That is not the reason. You cannot say that. You
Look, I'm gonna
cannot.
tell y'all. Look at this. Look at this. Seriously,
I
this the
think
world.
it's,
This
No,
the
I'm
world that we're
sorry.
living
I
in.
just gathered hold on.
Go ahead.
I just gathered my words, and now I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
If you had a woman that was going to continuously cheat on you, or what are you going to do to help that woman or make those changes? I cannot say for myself, if I've gone to therapy, I've done all of these things, we've gone to church, we're this, we're that, we're this and that and the other. After the sixth time you went and did another person, you made a choice. You made a choice to do that. So then you made a choice to leave and not have me. Because at a certain point, like the caller in was saying, at what point does it become from a mistake to intention to a habit?
Okay, so you just asked me.
Ladies?
Oh, you see, you want
Sorry,
to hear
go
from the ladies? No. Listen,
kinda, yeah.
I don't
I
get.
wanna,
Look.
I wanna answer.
Yeah, see, you want to answer?
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Miss Wendy.
because it's partial. You said just now, like, they go to therapy before they give up. They go to therapy and things like that. And it was also brought up again with an abusive relationship. But nobody asked the question of whether or not when you went into therapy, you were open to what needed to happen in therapy. Some people
Into
go
the
to
work.
therapy because they think they're so right. They're just looking for the therapist to agree with what they're coming in with. They're not open and really open, like open to the
Real.
process of digging through those layers, finding the root cause of why he's cheating,
Correct.
why she isn't happy. When you get to the why in therapy is not just, where we go to tell all of our woes and problems and blah, blah, blah. You have to go there with the intent of finding out what's beneath the surface. You know he cheated. Yep. You know he cheated sexually. Yep. Do you know that most people, if they really are going to be honest about it, it's not the fact that he physically cheated with someone. It's the fact that he spent a moment in somebody else's presence and was happy where he wasn't with you. It starts right there. Just the violation of your trust, just the violation of who you are building emotionally together. The damage with that is far beyond the physical. So them going back and doing over and over again, either the man or the woman, it's because of something else. I think that maybe the way that you was describing, like, well, it's her fault, she got to go level up. That's bogus. You need to
Bogus.
find out why he went in the first place. It ain't her
Now,
problem at all.
It
It's
could
his
be.
problem to be
but
solved.
but you know what
He's
though?
out there making decisions.
I agree with you.
To her point.
I agree with you, Wendy. I agree with you. But what I'm saying is that seriously, we just had a comment. I think it was Area 51. Oh yeah, if a man's bread is being buttered, he'll never go astray. Now, first of all,
Right.
that's real right there. But on the same note,
Yes.
let's really get to the bottom of this. Every time when you look on social media, especially, the women always talking about he cheated, he beat me. It's the same lame stuff. It's just like it's textbook now, saying the same stuff, and then half of the stuff, well, not even half of it, don't even be true. Don't even be true. So here's where the
That's
thing
true.
is, and another thing,
There
like
is a
with
lot.
you, where you was just talking about the therapy part of it, right? Now, I agree with what you just said. It's real. I mean, I agree 100% what you just said. But then you have some people that will come and tell you, and I ain't talking about you this time, Chelsea, because you said that well, you said it doesn't always work because of something else. I had people tell, well, not people, it was an idiot tell me therapy doesn't work. He told me
That's what I mean by being closed off to the process.
right.
Exactly.
And it's just like, you can't listen to people like that. If there's a reason therapy is big right now, there's a reason therapy is on this earth. Don't forget, God has created, which is his name is Jehovah, has created everything on this earth. He even gave people special talents, special gifts to help other people. And therapy is one. Okay, Chelsea, you're a life coach.
Life coach. I was just going to say, like,
that's a gift.
That's specifically, it is a gift. And that's specifically why I went into what I was able to, because it gave me a level to bring God into it, to not be bound by documents or certain things. I have God at the forefront of my coaching. So I would revert to that. And I do agree, just to kind of back up a little bit on some of the things we said, I agree that there's a root issue that's causing that infidelity. And I guarantee you, going along with one of the other comments, comments was, if you are providing and having conversations about your needs and your wants, you can prevent that from even happening. But if your man does not feel comfortable coming to you and telling you he likes it doggy style and without you whatever, then he's not going to come to you and do that. So if you both each way cannot communicate about intimacy and about the bedroom, which is hard, and talk about what you don't like or what is lacking, which is hard because the ego, then yeah, you can be led astray. So we've got to unpack that. And that's exactly where I would start, is unpacking where you feel your partner is not meeting your needs, but on a reasonable and realistic playing field.
Okay. And again, I agree with that as well. But like I told you, like stuff like that, like honestly, if you had asked me, you said if a female keeps going and cheating on the male or on me, right?
And you did therapy and you tried to help.
No, but see, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people don't properly do therapy. They think they can go to 1 or 2 sessions.
Yeah.
And then no, you're gonna have to at least hit 7 to 10 sessions before you even start.
But not even
taking anything.
I mean, it takes time, years. You can be in therapy for years just to make small progress.
And I know people.
It's hard work.
Yes, it is. So it's just like sometimes you just have to simplify yourself, take yourself away from a lot of things. Actually, a lot of females and a lot of males end up getting caught up what they see on television, the way things are now. Like I was never into the flashy female, never. But leave it up to me. In my situation, I was all out there. I was slinging it. But to this point, I you know what I mean? I don't like fake hair. I don't like wigs. It's a lot of things I don't like. But leave it up to me in my marriage. I liked it all. Bring it. Let me go tell it on the mountain. And it just wasn't that. If If we was talking about dirt bikes and all that stuff, yeah, I'm cheating. I'm cheating.
Shoot, you want to have that conversation, DJ Concrete? My
You
man's
know what I'm saying?
practically married to that thing.
Yes. I love my mountain bike. I love my dirt bikes and all that stuff.
Re-
But it could be worse. I could be talking about I
I
love
love
Blue
it.
Flame. I love
I
Magic City.
love it.
You know what I'm
You're
saying? I've
right.
never been in none of those
I'm
places. I've never
grateful.
been in them strip clubs and stuff like that. I like simple things.
Yeah.
You know, you would think that I smoke weed. Not saying there's something wrong with smoke weed. If you do that, it's a natural herb. Do your thing. But I'm just saying
Different
I don't do
folks.
none of that. I don't drink beer. I never had a beer. I don't drink any liquor. I don't smoke anything. I mean, I could be doing far more worse things. But you know, I mean, it's all good though. It's all good, and I appreciate all of you guys. I appreciate all the callers. I
Yes.
appreciate all the comments. We got loaded with the comments tonight. Like we're gonna try to still get some of these comments in.
Yep, we got a couple.
Yeah, because it was a lot of good comments, and we, you know, a lot of good people in here. We got to shout them out and everything. But you know, we didn't even get to the part of like, okay, well, we tapped in some on it, like with as far as the divorce and the 50-50 and stuff like
Yeah,
that. But
we
you know,
did.
they're just loosely asking for all this stuff, and it, you know, and it don't make sense. Some of these guys, like, it's like I meet so many guys, you know, they come in there, oh, I can't get this because I went through a divorce and this, that, and the third. Whatever. A divorce shouldn't be like that. It's bad enough the man's hurting because I don't care what went on. Every man is going to hurt if their mate go. I don't care what goes on. Every woman is going to be hurt.
Yeah, I agree.
So why keep wanting that attachment where you going to pay? I'm going to hit you in the pockets. For what? If you chose to move on, move on. You see what I'm saying? I mean, get that out of your head. Like, if you really want to go to the Bible, show me where it's talking about alimony in the Bible. I'll wait. It ain't in there. It ain't in. But we quick to talk about the Bible and then talk about alimonies and all this old stuff. Let's talk about alimony in the Bible. So,
Amen.
as I was saying, let's get back to some of these comments. And anytime anybody feeling froggy, we can leap to it.
Uh-oh.
So shouts out to Christy Webb. Shouts out to Christy Webb just coming up in the building. And then Dougie said, I don't believe in mistakes. So I'm assuming that he's talking about, like, if somebody do something, it's not a mistake. They did it.
Exactly. If there's intent, there's not a mistake. And I honestly feel that way in certain areas too. But I do believe in mistakes though as well. I mean, we do make mistakes, but you're not going to mistakenly go and make out and do something with another person. You're going to intentionally know that, unless you are doing bad things like doing drugs and getting drunked up to where you can't even remember. Well, then there's a whole nother conversation we need to have, because there's a lot of intent there that's not right.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Doesn't mean I'm out. Doesn't mean I'm out.
I don't know if this is sounding crazy or whatever. Why do y'all allow infidelity to hurt y'all so bad?
What do you mean? Because you physically gave that part that is supposed to be mine to somebody. And I don't want to say mine because I don't mean like I own that, but that is cherished. That intimacy, that union, when you bring two bodies together as one, that is something that is between me, you, and God. You just brought another person into my marriage, and now I have a problem with it because I didn't sign up for a polygamist. It hurts. You betrayed. You lose that trust. You all of it. The whole foundation that we created is now broken because you made this decision to do the nastiest thing I can even think of in my marriage.
Let me ask you this, Ms. Chelsea. Let me ask you this.
I'm just saying.
How many cars have you owned in your life?
Hold on. I don't like the start of this question.
That's okay. It's
owned
me.
cars. I know.
How many
all
cars
right.
have you owned? I'll tell you what. How many cars have you owned in the last 10 years?
3.
Okay. Let's say your favorite one Your favorite car got repossessed. It's gone. Did you get over it?
Yeah. I'm never, but it's
Get
not
over it.
gonna.
Get over it.
No,
I just want to
not
say
gonna
one thing.
happen. It's not
Go
gonna
ahead.
break. Go
Go ahead.
ahead. I know somebody on the phone has got something to say.
I just feel like there is way too much. I don't think that you're mad or hurt or upset about the physical act. I just really don't believe it. I believe it
I
is
think it's the
the
trust.
trust, and when you said the most intimate act, is it? Because for them
Well,
in the moment, every time I hear, and I have many guy friends that have said what they did and everything else, and while I think it's like so wrong, the way they describe it is so far from intimate. It's simply the physical act of having something they didn't have. It's almost like this conquering mentality that went along with it. They never just, I realized that. I realized that after hearing it from different men or women who had cheated, it was lust. It had nothing to do with intimacy. It had nothing to do with love. And that goes right back to having that person figure out why they're doing it.
yeah.
Because it's clearly not to be intimate. And you can hear like some people say how the person came back and they talked through it and they went to therapy, and then this person ended up revealing something they never ever thought was present, but they never talked about it before. That person had been cheated on, or that person had been violated, or any of those things. And it's causing this chain reaction that because they don't, again, dig deeper into the layers of why, that it keeps happening. And it's almost like this mystery as to why. Because you see them with their mate and they're so loving and they're so caring and they're so all of the intimate and all of that. But they still go out and do this lustful act that means absolutely nothing to them in that sense of violating their love and their intimacy with their wife or husband or boyfriend or girlfriend or whomever they have a commitment with. So that I just don't think I definitely don't give it that much power in terms of the physical act.
Okay.
And I think that could be different for women and men because women are a little bit more attached to the sexual act. I think.
Because
they are a little more attached,
definitely.
but you have women out here that are just like this modern woman. They want to be just like, I mean, to that degree, I don't agree totally with concrete saying they want to be like a man, but in that regard, that power trip can go pretty far. They want to boss up in every way. Or if a man can do it, I can do it. Oh, men treat women like that. I ain't got no man. I'm a boss. I'm gonna do what I want to do. If I want him, I'm gonna get him. Oh, he doable. Oh, you think women don't talk like that? I've been around bosses because I've been one. And I don't know how not to be in charge of a business, but I sure know how to let it go when I go home. Because I don't plan on managing my household and go out in business and manage a whole crew of people, managers and other managers, and I'm managing managers. I'm not doing that and come home and do it again. That's why I don't understand the wanting to be the boss of the house. Because I've lived long enough to know that it ain't cute. Right. And it's so tiring.
And see,
take care of me so I can take care of you. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, I wish a lot of people could see exactly how a beautiful marriage works. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But Christy Webb says that goes for anybody, male or female. Their wife or husband can give it to you, but means nothing. Infidelity still happens. Okay. Brother-in-law. I just saw a brother-in-law. Oh, and then Ashley Hill said, hold on.
Oh, Lord.
She said, the audacity. Why can't you let go of sleeping with someone else while you're married? Oh, boy. What a night.
What a night.
Area 51 said, forgiveness is a choice. You can forgive and move forward with the truth. You have what you need to forgive or move forward. I agree with that so
Well
much.
said. Well said.
I agree with it. So, like I said,
Yep.
it's always a choice. I mean, if a person chooses to move on, then they move on. You know, it's nothing you can do about it. Uh, all you can do is
Period.
meditate and you know, get things right. Brother-in-law said, "Man, f that. If she cheats, I'm out. No therapy, second chance, etc. Period." Okay.
That's because his
Yes.
manhood is tied up in his manhood.
Right. So the thing is, here's what happens to a lot of women too. This happens to a lot of women, but they don't want to speak on this. Sometimes women go out and do something themselves,
Mhm.
and then they regret it because it hits y'all harder than it hits us.
Mhm.
It hits y'all
Correct.
harder than it hits us. And a lot of times when they go out and they do it, now they become like, oh snap, what did I just do? It happens to men too.
Yep.
But oh snap, what did
It
I just
does.
do? And then now they trying to come up out of it
Mhm.
and they can't come up out of it. And guess what?
Yeah.
Oh snap, I hope he don't do what I did to him. And then and guess what? That hope starts to become paranoid. And you become paranoia starts to set in. And then what happens is that when paranoia starts to set in, then you just the whole time you're just scared, and then you just start making up stuff. I wonder if let him be late. He probably out there doing some other female. Oh, he's probably doing this. He's probably doing that. Now I just wish he go and do what I did so we can be even, and I won't feel as bad. It's a lot behind that. Trust me. We have another caller on the line. Is it brother-in-law?
Yeah, what's up, Jay?
What's going on, my brother-in-law? Hold on one second. Let me get Miss Wendy back on. Hold on. Miss Wendy, you still there?
Yes,
Okay,
I'm here now.
awesome. All right. Brother-in-law, you there?
Yeah, so who made the statement about my comment talking about my manhood?
I did.
Okay, that ain't got nothing to do with no manhood. I'm confident in my manhood, but if a woman cheats, I'm out. The same thing is the same. It's the same issue with a woman. If y'all man cheat, majority of y'all are out.
Right.
So if I say that, what makes you make that statement about something about my manhood?
I said that men, period, whether you said it or not. If it's your personal comment, that's your personal comment. My personal comment is this, that men oftentimes, when they say that, oh, well, if she cheats, doesn't matter, why she cheated, whatever, I'm out. No second chance, no therapy, no nothing. That means you don't even want to know why she did it. You don't want anything to do with it. It's all about, oh, well, he has something that's mine, and so I'm out.
I'm sorry. Don't try to clean that up now, because when
I ain't cleaning nothing up. It's the same thing.
You said no. He's saying something about his manhood. That's where your exact words.
Exactly.
So now you twisting it. It ain't got nothing to do with
I ain't switching nothing. I meant exactly what I said.
That's just my view.
If the guy is saying that they're leaving.
If a woman steps out and cheats, I don't want to follow up with nobody else. What you bringing into my home? If I do that, it's the same issue.
Is it?
So you mean to tell me if you with your significant other and he steps out and cheats, oh yeah, you could do this and that, blah, blah, blah. He keeps doing it, you gonna stay there.
I'm the same person who says somebody with stabs up and they still with their mate. So I don't understand why that question would be asked. I also said that I don't believe in divorce. So again, I've already stated my position on that. I'm going to find out what is happening and why. That's who I am. Now, jumping and leaving, if that's what yours is, then that's what yours is. It's not going to change my opinion or where my stance is on it.
Okay, so here's the thing. You got two choices when that happened. And shouts out to my baby sister. She she just It was another word I wanted to say, but she just straightened me up. Baby sis, you know I'm just being silly. I'm being sarcastic.
Thank you.
But but I kind of meant what I said. Seriously. She said poor
What it wasn't
comparison.
for.
She said poor comparison. Your favorite car is materialistic. Infidelity is something totally different. I agree, but I was just being silly and upfront. But here's the thing. You got two situations here. Either I'm gonna say you got three. If the woman or the man steps out of the marriage, either you can forgive them and y'all start seeking counseling, or you can hang in there, see where it goes, get counseling, or exercise your options. I'm not saying that's right. Two wrongs don't make a right, but it's an option. But me personally, marriage, I love marriage. It's wonderful, but the way things is now, I don't think I will never get married again, ever, because especially in the United States, I always speak this. It is not a good deal for men, period. You see what I'm saying? It's not. If you're already married, great, stay married. Do not break up, because it's better to be married than to be divorced.
That's not good advice.
So wouldn't, since all this business stuff is involved in contracts, wouldn't just a prenuptial agreement?
Yeah,
I was just thinking about a
that y'all talking about.
I mean, you can do a prenup because
if you making money.
But see, if I met somebody who would be, like at this point in my marriage is not even on my table. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, yes, you can do a prenup, or you can just not put the state in your marriage, period. Don't do it. Or just don't get married in the United States. But
how about just don't get married to somebody you don't know anything about and haven't been through anything with to know how they react to hard situations?
I agree with that. But a lot of times when you find that out, it's too late.
You're right. You're right.
So I'm just saying, and we all have our choices. Just like the caller before, if she felt as though, her situation, her mate was cheating and all this, that, and the third, and she left him, that's what it is. You can't be upset with that or upset with her, because everybody is entitled to their own opinion.
That's right.
And you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm not saying she was wrong. I'm not saying you wrong, Chelsea. I'm not saying you wrong, Miss Wendy. I'm not saying you wrong, brother-in-law Tony. You understand what I'm saying? But I get what you're saying, Tone. Like sometimes people, here's the thing, bottom line, right? And this is serious. I'm gonna speak from a man's perspective. If my girl cheat on me, man, I'm a do this.
Amen.
I'm gonna run my mouth and say I'm gonna do all this stuff. Boy, I'm gonna tear this, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna. Guess what? When it actually comes, it may be a total different story. Total different story. So the best thing is to leave the I'm a out, leave it out, and just hope that it never happens. And if it happens, hope and pray that you handle it in a manly, spiritual, graceful way. Because you got some people, when it happened, they snap.
Correct.
And it's not good. You know what I'm saying? Because people are literally doing that these days. So just, if they want to leave, that's just like Tony. Let's say if it happens, he said, I'm out. And let's say he's out and they file for divorce and everything. But in the process, something happens. He starts to turn around. He starts to become forgiving. And he gets back. Who said something wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that.
Me.
I mean, that's fine. You can say that, Tone. You can say that. You're entitled to say that. But I'm just saying, if you turn around and say, Jesus was forgiving, you can do that. But it's like, the worst you're gonna get is your boy saying, "Well, I'm almost slipped. You a sucker." You know what I'm saying? Any of that stuff can happen. But then again, just don't. It's to each it's on. You know what I mean? You just, it's your decision. But like I said, me not being married at this point, I'm okay. I accept it, and it is what it is. But like I told you, the thing that follows divorce these days, especially in the United States, is the 50-50 split when the person did not put in the sweat, the work like you did. That's when it don't make sense. Why? If you want to help the person at the end, that's fine. But 50-50 and all that, it makes absolutely no sense at all. And they know that usually it's the man at first is going to be the one that has the most because he's the head, he's the hard worker. It was a reason why the woman ain't going to get with no broke dude. She know he has something, but you want to take it all now? You look like you want to say something, Chelsea.
I was watching something before this, and this is not my personal opinion, but it said it was a bunch of women talking, and one of them said, "If you broke, you better know your purpose."
And what were they trying to?
If a woman is not going to go for a man, right? Because going off of what you said, a woman ain't going to go for somebody who's broke. And they were kind of disputing that, and they said, "Well, if they know your purpose and you have drive, right? But if you're not showing drive and you don't have the money and do all of that, a woman's not going to per se go for it." So yeah, that's an interesting one.
Okay. Christy Webb said, "I'm the one that always said I didn't believe in divorce also. There's so much that's changed, and my girls have never even seen me happy. The oldest is 9." Okay. If you're still in here, Christy, if you weren't happy, put in the comments or call in why you wasn't happy. That will be something to hear. Or we'll even have you on the show and we can talk about that. But put that in the comments. Area 51 said, "Tit for tat never works." It does not. It doesn't. So somebody has to be the bigger person in the relationship. You know what I mean? Or if both of them could just be mature and just work it out that way.
Yeah,
I mean, because
agree.
a split is hard. It's a hard on both sides. Ashley Hill was responding to Dougie. "I think cheating is defined by each individual relationship," because Dougie was saying, he said that's a whole nother. Oh, that was Area 51. Say it's a whole nother show. Because Dougie said, "What is cheating?" And then, okay, that was brother-in-law right there. Ashley Bowles. So is the head. Okay, Ashley Hill said, "You want to read that one, Chelsea?"
Yeah. So is he the head of the house in the biblical sense, or does he have to have his bread buttered correctly? So if he's the head of
all of the above, all of the above,
or does he have to have his bread buttered correctly?
All of the above. When it comes to that, because a man is like a car. My little sister gonna get me. Car needs an oil change. Car needs tires. Car needs washing. So yes, you got to do all that. All right, who is this? Who is that? You want to read that one, Chelsea?
As the husband is the head of the house, one of their duties is to unconditionally accept your wife, not based upon her performance, but on her worth as God's gift to you, to quote the same verse. Very well said.
Okay. And
in my opinion.
Yes, it was. It was a great one. Christy said, "If the man want to cheat, they gonna cheat. It don't matter how many times you butter it." Talking about buttering the bread. If they want to stray, they gonna stray. So here's the thing.
That's some people for sure.
Yeah, but see, Christy, a man is like a car. My little sister gonna get me again. You keep talking about these cars. Man is like a car. If you drain him of gas, where he going? He can't go nowhere. He ain't got no gas.
Yes.
I don't believe that
Yeah,
one.
stay away from the car references.
Please, you're at number 4. This is the 4th one.
All right. Let me see.
Oh my God.
Where's the other one at? Let's find another one. All right. Want to cheat? Nope, that was Chrissy again. All about Area 51. You want to read that one, Chelsea?
It's all about learning your mate and setting your model up in the beginning. And I cannot stress that enough. That is what it's about. Not 25 years later, you're not communicating because a need is not being met. 25 years later. Well, the man's going to go, what the heck, man? We've been married 25 years. I didn't know this was a problem. Well, yeah, because you didn't say anything or express that was a problem for 25 years. Sorry, that's a personal experience from somebody.
Duh. Well, okay.
Duh.
Duh. All right.
Duh, come
So, at Christie, Area 51 said at Christie, it is absolutely true if the marriage is correct and the man is doing his part of the woman
doing
is
his
doing.
part.
Oh, my mind was in the gutter. The man is doing his part of the woman is doing her part correctly. The man will not go astray. Yep.
As long as he's still good with God.
Good.
Okay. You want to read that one, Chelsea?
Yeah. Holy Jesus, are we having church tonight? Amen.
Amen.
Amen. I knew he was gonna push it.
Yeah. All right. So,
Right.
Okay. And
Who don't like talking about Jesus?
Tony, you got to read that one, brother-in-law.
It might be a delay on the.
Oh, did you want to read that one, Chelsea?
Oh, yeah. The head of woman is Christ too. He is in all of us.
And then, and simply 10 art.
Well, that's not checking. That's correcting. Oh, I guess my terminology wasn't right.
Well, no, that's an old comment, so it was on something else. But I'm just trying to catch everybody's
checking
comment.
versus stepping up, correcting. I know what she was saying.
Okay, all right. And there's my big sister talking about, hey bird, hey big sis, you
Hey,
missed
Bird.
a mess. Woo, it was a night, sis. It was a good night on the podcast. It was a lot of fun. Shouts out to the callers. They were actually really wonderful callers. And we need to have that every night. Like that. But right now we're just trying to catch up on some of the comments before we step off. Dougie, let me see. Let me see.
That's a whole nother show.
Right. All right. So we pretty much. I mean, it was more. I'm trying to catch him. No need to announce your departure. That was Christy. And then, all right, there. And then we also had 10. If you want to read that one.
The show is still playing in the background, but I'm tired. Good night.
Also, let me see. What was that? You want to read that one?
Area 51, Brooklyn. I wish a man would have multiple families.
Huh.
God has no fury like a scorned woman. Ain't that the truth?
There's another one for you.
I came in it with my grandma, my son, and my car. I will leave with my grandma, my kids, my car, and my animals. From Christy Webb.
Yep. There's another one for you.
Some women are forced to lead by Area 51.
I agree. I've seen it's a lot of relationships out here like that. So
It's true.
Very true about that one. We're just trying to catch up on the comments, y'all, because there was a lot of comments tonight.
Yeah, this was the wolf comment. This one got spicy.
Okay. Yeah, it got spicy, but we had to correct it. We had to correct that
Yeah.
thing. Because y'all want to
Correct.
be
Yeah.
two alphas in the house. We is an alpha. Y'all find out who the real alpha is.
Oh, okay.
That was Dougie saying, "Hey, Leslie, talking to Big Sis." So yeah, so for the most part, like I said, we got that cleared out. And again, shouts out to everybody, the callers. Uh, shouts out to brother-in-law Tony. So we can start these shouts out. Shouts out to Miss Wendy. Shouts out to Tasmanian Devil. I think that's what it said. Shouts out to my big sister, Leslie Field. Shouts out to my baby sister, Neen. Shouts out to Dougie. Shouts out to Simply 10 Art. Shouts out to Area 51. Shouts out to Christy Webb. Shouts out to my son Willie Bars. Shouts out to Brooklyn Z. Shouts out to who else? Man, it was getting busy. Shouts out to Ashley Hill. Shouts out to
Actually, Thacker.
it was oh, and then who else?
She's married.
Okay. Wow. It was a lot. So anyway, don't forget the way we're doing this now, and we went way over time tonight. That was something.
I love it.
Mondays we have in the music podcast, which is called Bring Your Bars and Beats, and that's strictly for the artists like the MC who really got some rapping skills and they rap over different beats. And then we're gonna have the producers, they can bring their beats in so we can hear. Also on Wednesdays, we got the Brutally Honest Rap Show. And y'all know what that is. We get in and we judge other artists' music. And that way we can better their music or, you know, whatever the case may be. And then on Friday nights only, now we have Conversations and Creep with co-host Chelsea.
Yes.
Natural coaching. So we're
Chelsea,
giving y'all the
natural
business.
coaching.
We're giving y'all the business, and it gets crazy in here. So
Crazy fun.
we're gonna call it a night. Was it anything else you want to bring up, Miss Chelsea or Miss Wendy or brother-in-law Tony? Anything we can talk about something else too now. We ain't shy. We shut it down tonight. Nobody else ain't got nothing else to say.
Yeah, I think everybody.
Yeah.
No, I think
So-
that was a great show. That was a lot
Yeah.
of fun tonight. I really appreciate everybody coming in here and commenting. It just makes it so great to interact with you guys.
Yes. I look forward to this every Friday at 8:30. It'd be something. So again, everybody who's in here, please, please, please go down and hit the like button and make sure y'all have the notification button on. So every time when we come on, it'll let y'all know that we're on. Also, share it with friends and family so that they can come on as well and have them subscribe and hit the notification bell. And also, if y'all know anybody with some situations we need to talk about on here, we can have a conversation about it. Bring them. We promise it's going to be good talk. I promise y'all won't bring up the car analogies and stuff like that. So, and you know, we'll have a good time, but you know, other people may be helped or they may help us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, oh yeah, and Area 51 said if there were cash apps out there, you might get some money. Thank you, Area 51. We
point.
really appreciate you.
Thank
Actually,
you.
you know
That was
what?
nice.
Chelsea, make sure that I put at the bottom our cash apps. Because I usually have them
I
on there,
will.
but I forgot. But I'll have to get your cash app and then all that. And then we're gonna have to have Miss Wendy on. And then Miss Wendy, the
Yes.
business, what's the name of your business again?
Unboxed with Wendy.
Huh?
Unboxed with Wendy.
Unboxed
Unboxed
with Wendy.
with Wendy. Okay. Unboxed
That's it.
with Wendy. And then also we're gonna have you bring we're gonna so you can bring the website link on when we're on here, and we're gonna have you on, and that way we can all support you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Definitely
Also,
appreciate.
no problem. Anytime, anytime. And thank you so much, Miss Ashley Hill. She said, amazing
Thank
show, guys.
you.
What a blast. Yes, this is
What a
how we spend our
blast.
Fridays now, especially when it starts to
Yes.
get cold outside and nobody wants to go nowhere. Just make sure y'all have some popcorn and make sure you have
Join
popcorn.
us.
Yes, and then and have your nerves ready. Uh let me see.
Drink your liquid courage.
Right. And Area
Right.
51 said, awesome show, lots of fun. Thank you. Thank you so
guys
much.
so
We
much.
appreciate y'all. So we are gonna call it a night, y'all. And I really appreciate all of you guys. Thank y'all so much.
Amen.
Yeah. So let's get it going. Peace and much love to y'all from the Conversations in Crete podcast with co-host Chelsea and also Miss Lillian.
Miss Lily.
Yeah, Miss Lily. And you know what? I forgot Miss Tarita. Thank you so much for stopping by. Actually, we would love to have Miss Tarita on the show. She is wonderful, wonderful lady, and she knows a lot. Definitely got to have her on the show. And also, Miss Area 51 said popcorn and boxing gloves. Yes, popcorn and boxing gloves. That's what you got to have on getting on here.
And
You
a tow
can't walk
truck
away
for
with
all
the feeling
cars.
Right. You know, so once again, and sometimes on Monday we might have a quickie relationship show. We're gonna switch it from that, from the music and that. So see, it's crazy because I don't even want to leave y'all, but we gotta go. We gotta go. All right.
All
Amen.
right.
Once again, appreciate all of y'all. Shouts out to all of y'all. Oh, hold up before we leave. I gotta have my big sister on one day too. She has the most wonderfulest iced tea and lemonade that y'all gotta taste. It's called right here. It's called Les Tea. And and let me tell y'all
Yes.
something. Everybody, they think she's putting like crack in it because they keep coming back. They just keep coming
It's
back.
just that good.
I love it. I love it.
And
Arnold Palmer.
y'all think we got good tea down here in the South? Wait till y'all taste this tea and lemonade. Just wait. And y'all can catch
It is crap in there.
huh? Oh, it is.
There is crack in
Crap
there.
that tea.
Is that big sis on here? Oh, I thought I was gonna say how in the world did I let on? I didn't even know. But yeah, y'all gotta taste the tea, and I'm gonna have it one day, and I'm gonna post it so y'all can see it, and then y'all can go follow her on Instagram. I'm gonna get her Instagram so y'all can go follow her on there about the tea and everything. And I'm gonna make sure y'all taste it. So, but anywho, see, I've been in the South too. I'm talking about anywho.
And you
Yeah. So we're out,
for
y'all.
the third time.
Yeah, we're out for the third time.
For the third time, we out.
Yeah, I don't even want to leave y'all. But
Have too much fun.
I'm out. Chelsea's out. Miss Wendy out.
I'm
Tony out.
I'm clicking the X.
Remember, y'all, it's Conversations in Crete with co-host Chelsea
Friday nights.
and DJ Concrete. Let's get it. Thank
8:30.
y'all for everything. Thank all the callers. I just love the callers that called in tonight. That was wonderful conversation. It was a wonderful conversation. Lovely people. All right. See y'all for real this time.
See ya.
All right. Let's get it.